right. Hello, everybody. Pooch, you are live.
Hi,
Hello.
here I am.
All right, let's see if this this works here. Oh, nope, gotta grab Pooch again. Let's grab the Pooch. There we go.
Gentle.
Handle
Like
the
being
Pooch with
grabbed
care. There we go.
roughly. That's right.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. Hello, Jeeper. Dark Third Dimension. How's it going, guys? We are back at it with Pooch here. Pooch and I had a few tiny issues with our units. I fixed mine on Monday. My issues were that I was not happy with the print quality at all. So we all fixed that together on stream. Sorry, just checking something. And Pooch has a slightly out of spec faceplate, which not really entirely sure how that occurred, but we got that resolved. He drilled a hole out and it fixed the thing. So, woo!
It was really pretty close. And I don't know if it was just an issue with, when I set my... I think my heat set inserts were in, right? But I had a couple millimeters off here and there, so I just got a little larger hole.
Yeah.
And drilled it out. That seemed to be the easiest solution rather than trying to mess with the model or seeing exactly what was lined up. But we're going.
It's entirely within the possibility that the machine that was drilling the holes could have just been like a hair off, and that was like just enough to cause an issue. That happened with the hot ends. So there's like a chance that batch 2 hot ends leak a tiny bit, and that's just because it was not trimmed at the end enough. And if that happens, we'll find out the fun way. It's not that big of an issue. You just take apart the hot end and put a little bit of thermal paste in there, and you should be good. Yeah, little fun things like that. Yeah.
Such is the joy of kit building sometimes, but
Absolutely.
nothing unreasonable in my opinion.
And if you, of course, as someone who buys a Positron, using, I'm not sure if KB3D has any left, but using our affiliate link that's pinned in the chat, if there's ever any issue with your kit at all, LDO has the best customer support. And like you show them something's wrong, they'll replace it. Like they won't even ask you too many questions. They'll be like, okay, they'll see if they can help you fix it while you have it. But if they can't, then they just no questions asked, send you a replacement of whatever it is. It's one of the reasons why we chose to work with LDO, because we know that they care and they have taken great care of everyone who's bought a kit, and it's been wonderful. But yeah,
it's awesome to hear. I'm glad they back their stuff so well.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I was trying to get caught up to you, and I think I'm just about there. I've got 2 flathead screws. It looks like I've got to install, and it looks like they might be different sizes.
Yeah, let's see.
Side panel.
We were still on the base assembly. Let me look there.
So I'm on base assembly, install left side and mid panel step. So I got my side panels on, and I am just putting the left mid panel.
Yeah, that is. So I am at install upper top cover, so I think I'm just 1 step ahead of you.
Oh, good. I'll be there in just a second. It looks like I just need to find an M3x6 and an M2 5x6 for each of these respectively, and I will be there. And I believe I got a little overzealous and tried putting the side cover panel on before I did that. So we're gonna back up a second.
Yeah. Welcome, Mr. Oh god, I'm gonna butcher this. Tibrium? If I said it close enough, I hope I did. If I didn't, I'm sorry. Yes, hello party people. How's it going this evening? It's going great. Dark Third Dimension says Pooch looks like the type who would like that. Oh, wait, what? Hold on. Grab Pooch arrested?
Like what? I would like what?
When I said earlier that I had to grab Pooch, apparently Dark Third Dimension said grab Pooch. You could be arrested for that.
Yeah. Grabby grab.
Yeah, and
Oh, I see. One's tapping into the motor.
Tech Cheaper says, yes, they do. I'm convinced Jason never sleeps or is really an AI-powered robot. Both are potentially applicable. I've
very
seen,
lifelike, I will say that.
when I've actually like observed when Jason, when like something is problematic with something, I've seen him just like his face just like goes straight faced, and he's just focused on fixing whatever the problem is. So when he heard while we were at what was it, open sauce, when he heard that the heater carts were breaking more so than they should have, I've never seen him just like back away and be on his phone as much as he did in that moment. Like the next day there was an entire plan on how to fix all of that. When it comes to ensuring that everything is done at a high quality, he cares so much about all of you and all of the customers. It's truly a breath of fresh air. Because I feel like, hey, if there's something wrong, I can very openly tell him, and he will accept it, acknowledge it, and fix it. Unlike, the response of some companies where you say that, hey, this little chip is getting to be like 200 degrees Celsius in the back of your printer. Maybe we should replace it before it burns someone's house down.
Nah, we'll fix it. We'll fix that. You can just buy the next version of the printer.
Right. TJL, welcome. How's it going? Good evening, or good morning, gang. How are the Filament faithful? Good morning. My good sir, it is 7 p.m.
Gotta love the global streams, man. We get people from all over the planet.
It really
Where is it morning right now? Like Australia?
Yeah, right. I do love having a international community like what we do. I have a friend that one of my best friends. I got an hour in the morning to talk to them, and then I got an hour at night to talk to them because we have the complete opposite schedules. And it's not because they live in Australia. No, I think they live I forget. They live in like California. We just have opposite schedules.
You're just like on a different shift, huh?
Yeah.
Night shift or the swing shift or something like that.
It's just super fun times. So Pooch, where were you last week?
I was in Denver for a spell, and then Orlando for Maker Faire Orlando.
How was the Maker Faire?
And it was really nice. I'd never been to Maker Faire Orlando. It's one of the bigger ones. And lovely group of people. Got to chat with a ton of awesome people. I was posted up at the Prusa booth, and a lot of good conversations, and got to wander around a little bit and saw some really neat stuff and pick up some souvenirs for the kiddos. And it was probably more like craft fair style than I'd seen at some of the Maker Faire. So there were a lot of people selling their stuff, which was cool, but it was all very like Maker-esque stuff. And there was a 10-year-old girl that was running a booth right behind us that was selling her 3D prints. That she had made, and she was doing great. Yeah, I mean, what were you doing when you were 10? I was not that enterprising, I'll tell you that.
I think I was licking glue.
And huffing glue, licking, sure, whatever, eating paste. And,
that's so cool.
It was just a lot of good people, and it's always neat to see like the different regions. I've been to so many, rep rap festivals and maker fairs and some industrial shows and all of it, and there's always something different depending on where you go.
I am so excited for Sanjay Mortimer, because like this year has been like the year of rep rap festivals for me. I've been to East Coast a few times in the past few years, but like I've never this was my first Remurf, my first open sauce. A lot of
They're
firsts
really
this
getting
year.
into it.
So I can't wait
Yeah.
to go to Smurf next year. I'm gonna be at the Philadelphia Maker Faire. Really excited for that. Because apparently
That's cool. I
there's a
haven't been to that one either.
yeah, I didn't know about it until literally this year. And that really upsets me because I live in Philly.
Well, they have them. They have them everywhere. The mini one, it depends on the size, right? Like the flagship ones originally were like Bay Area and New York, and there was a Chicago one for a hot minute, and then
Yeah.
But a lot of the little regional ones popped up, and we've got one like the local junior college does, and it's everything in between. But that's cool. So
absolutely
Philadelphia. And you're becoming well traveled as a result. So you're going
Oh, yeah.
to. I'll be at the UK. That's the next show I'm going to. There's actually Form Next is coming up next week. That's a big industrial one in Germany. I'm not going to do that one this year.
So excited
There's a
to
little
see what
rest.
they do with Form. Like I can't wait to see what is new and upcoming.
It's a lot. That's a big show. There's a lot. There's a lot going on there, and we're seeing more hobby. Let's just call it like commercial or hobbyist level. There as well. But historically, it's the big multi-million-dollar booths, and you got to freight in these printers that are as large as a house or can print a house.
I forget.
There's a lot of cool stuff to see at that show.
I forget if LDO is going to be there.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Something really cool that I'm happy to share. So, for those that have been following the project, you probably know that we've been working with Ollie 3D to design a new fan housing for our part cooling fan. Well, Ollie 3D just released. Mind you, we haven't tested it yet, at least ourselves. Victor at Ollie 3D has, and supposedly it's really, really good. He just released a resin printed duct that goes into this printed part, and it fully encapsulates the hot end to give you like two-sided cooling. Because one of the problems we have with the new cooling fan is that it's a little too strong in one direction. So he's been working on trying to figure out a way to get it on both sides, and he came up with something. I'm really excited to test it. It's $30. It is a resin printed part. And it's also coated in like this engine coating that's like made for race car engines. It's insane. One important thing to note, his resin print will not be open source. He has put a lot of work helping us make the open source FDM version of the part cooling fan, which is already significantly better than the original one we have. So the deal we had was like, hey, if you're willing to help us make our existing duct better, we'd be absolutely happy to like work with you to make a resin printed one. And so very mutual relationship. We got the benefit from it, and now we're going to be trying to give it back. So, if you guys are really interested in a fan duct that goes on both sides, there you go.
Yeah, I met Victor at Rocky Mountain for the first time. Nice guy, very creative, had some just really awesome cooling solutions for a lot of different machines. Prusa and other.
I have not asked him if I can share, so I won't share, but I have a few beta items from him coming that I'm going to be testing. I'm very excited for it.
That's awesome.
All right.
I'm sure they're going to be great. Okay, I realized I forgot to put the little... Thought I was caught up to you, but I got to put the left panel cornerstone.
Yep, that's it, and then you'll be caught up. I'm just going to start kind of marching on.
Yep. So I found my cornerstone. And placing it on. I also apparently used the wrong length screw over here, and I don't know if it matters or not, but I'll follow the directions. Use a 6 mil there. Okay. Well, I'm glad all the top plate stuff seems to align just fine. So I guess it was just some
I think
plate.
Just a little bit of malarkey with the bottom plate there.
Probably an easy way to take, because I assume on these side panels, the threaded inserts should be directly above each other, right? They're symmetrical in
Yes.
terms of where the hole position is. So theoretically, you could take one of these top plates and lay it on your base plate and see if those holes aligned.
Yep.
That might be an indicator. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, Tibber. YouTube does not actually. Here, I'll grab the link for the Ollie 3D website and post it real quick. Yeah, only moderators are allowed to post the link.
All right.
Oh, it is on his website, so it is publicly announced. So you know what? Here you go, chat. Enjoy. Go check it out. And if you have options to put like in the order, just like say Nomad sent us. Troll him. Do it.
And Pooch. Pooch sent you too.
Yes, Pooch too.
Hone in on that. Nomad and Pooch. But mostly Nomad.
Oh, I do love.
Man, this is starting to look like something. I'm excited here. This is
Dude,
great.
I cannot wait to show this off at San Jimor. I have to figure out how to get it to San Jimor. I have to bring 3 Positrons. It's gonna be a little chaotic, but it's gonna be fun.
Oh, that's a lot.
Yeah, I'm bringing 3 and towing home with 1.
Should I make sure I have everything wired in, or do we do wiring in another step? I guess we're not covering over the main board yet, so.
So there is so you're gonna want to wire up your extruder motor and the bed cable. Those are 2 things you're gonna want to.
Motor. Okay, bed cable is already done, and then I have all my motor cables already plugged in. I just don't have the fans clipped in yet.
Oh yeah, do the fans.
So that's okay. We'll do that in a little bit. We'll do the fans. Okay.
Yeah,
So
especially the left side fan. If you already put the top cover on, you will not have access to that once you put the top cover on.
Well, I have the wire running under here, so I just need to plug it in wherever. So which one of these is the fan? Let's see.
On the fan ports, the one on the far left of the board is going to be for PCB fan 1, and then actually it says it on the PCB, so just match it.
That's what I'm trying. I'm like my old addled eyes here. Okay, these are end stops. What does this say? 5 volt.
Right there.
I'm assuming it's this one. It's a 3-pin. It looks like it's right underneath where the extruders are. Fairly certain that's my fan. I don't see anything that says fan though.
Okay, so you see the buzzer directly south of the Ethernet port?
Oh, I do.
Yes.
I see it. Okay, it is over here. Okay, fan 1, fan 2. Okay, so fan 1 is my left. So that's plugged in. And fan 2. Oh, and there's a thing for a fan 3 even, which will be later.
Cheaper if you get it before I do, which I don't think Victor has already mailed me mine, but I cannot wait to get it. Cannot wait to test it. You do have to remove your silicon sock, so like if you do that Ollie 3D mod, you cannot use the silicon sock because it literally like wraps around the hot end. It's really cool. I cannot wait to try it.
Look at what I can zoom.
Oh shoot.
What happened? What's wrong? What's wrong?
No, nothing major. I'm just realizing now would also be a good time to actually wire the end stop at the same time.
Oh, we can do that. Oops. Too far. Enhance. There it is. Yeah, that's starting to look like something, huh? Look at that.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
So what I do when I'm running my end stop, I take off the LED hat and I run the wire underneath the hat, and I just put it back.
Okay. Let's see. So I don't have my end stop.
It's going to be on your Z column.
Okay, so Z column over here.
Kegel, welcome to the chat, my friend.
But we haven't actually bolted that to the
No, not yet.
thing yet. So you're saying you want to wire it up now, or just wait until
Wire the ZN stop now because it's gonna be trickier to get it wired in once you enclose everything.
Okay, so I'm gonna pull my LED hat and I'll do it the same way you did, and then we'll come under here, and then I see. Let's see. In E0 stop, that's the extruder stop. What is that? So it says E0 stop.
It should be Z diag stop. So it's the one on the other side of that spacing.
There's Z diag stop right there, and then we got a Y, we got an X, we got a Z. Clickety clack. That's in, and then we'll put our little hat back on there.
Now I forgot to. Oh wow. Okay, never mind. Apparently I have my alignment like perfect. Neat. Okay.
Well, congrats.
Yeah. Remember how I didn't have the tool to align the pulleys?
Yes.
Yeah. Apparently my eyeballing was perfect.
You, Scott. Well, you've done enough of these by now.
I want to say yes to that, but I'm gonna say no because I've made so many mistakes. Even to this day, when I build new positrons, I mess up.
Yeah. I've built a lot of things over the years, and I still try to go too fast. And I think it's more of a function of we get impatient and we try to go too fast. Not that we don't have the know-how. Sometimes I think it's just.
So
Too
coming from the
anxious to get
IT side of
done.
things, and in IT we have a lot of checklists. We have a lot of like guides that are step by step by step by step. It is not necessarily that we get like really impatient. It is that we are too used to the process, and because we've done it so many times, we just forget.
Oh. Well, that's fair too. Okay, so I'm doing some idlers.
Yep.
And it looks like we've got how many different size idlers?
Yeah, two different size idlers.
10. Okay, so we got two big ones and
Yep.
then a bunch of small ones.
The big ones are going to go in the back of the printer in this area here where my hand is.
Okay.
So.
And I think for right now we're doing smaller ones up front. And I
Oh,
need some
hello, linear rail.
shims. Hello, Moto.
Oh man. Oh wait, I forgot. I mentioned this before, but this is something that's new to batch 2, and that is the blank rails. I'm so happy with them. I totally forgot that we had blank rails, because that's just going to make greasing these up so much easier.
Three, 6, 5. Okay, there's the right shims, and I need my wafer head 3x8s. For those. These are teensy tiny.
So, one of the things I've been talking about recently on stream is song lyrics. So there's a nerdcore artist. Are you familiar with what nerdcore is?
Is it like Weezer-esque, like nerd rock,
Not quite.
nerdcore? I don't know. Wait, give me an example of an artist that is nerdcore.
This Stupendium is nerdcore. You probably don't know.
No, I guess I'm not.
So nerdcore is a type of genre where it's very inspired by video games. So it is, for example, like someone, it's like it's fan art but in music form.
Okay.
So like someone making a song about Mario, or like the Mario games, or like something like that.
I gotcha. Okay.
So Stupendium is a nerdcore artist, and he released a little while ago. For anyone who watched the stream on Monday, they're familiar with what I'm about to say. He released a song called "The Ark in the Timberbox," and oh my god, it has probably some of the best lyrics I've heard from any artist in quite some time.
Whoa.
So Oh god.
Indian. Good name.
So that makes me wonder, are there any artists that you like to listen to that have a particular what's the word? That are particularly really good with their lyrics?
Yeah, certainly. Let me think. That's a good spot. Like all around lyrical, I would probably go back to like I'm a kid of the 90s, right? So like
Yeah.
I love like a lot of that 90s alt rock. I love like a lot of Toad the Wet Sprocket, you know, because there's like a lot of poetry in what's being said there. Maybe less so like with a Collective Soul. But yeah, that's like of another generation. I do appreciate lyrics as a function of music because I feel like it's really easy to, you know, come up with a hook, like an earworm of a song, but kind of phone it in on writing lyrics.
Yeah.
And finding people that can kind of do all of that well. Especially in a day and age where a lot of artists don't even write their own songs anymore; they're just performers.
And that
There's some brilliance in a lot of that.
yeah, and that has something to be said. All my favorite artists are artists that have written their own lyrics because from what I understand, I'm not saying this as an expert or anything. This is just my assumptions that I am making. Please correct me in the chat and or comments if I am incorrect, because I am making assumptions. So from what I understand, when it comes to like pop artists, yeah, for the most part, they don't write their own songs. They shop around for songs, or their producers find songs that have been written that kind of match their target audience or something like that. So
Their style, sure, yeah.
like I know one in particular, one that I'm familiar with, I think is, again, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe Pharrell Williams does that.
Pharrell
Yeah, I
writes
believe
his
so.
own, or he performs.
He performs.
I
think.
he just performs. I don't know enough about Pharrell. I mean, I'm familiar with a few of his songs, but I don't know if he's a writer or if he's just a performer.
I'm pretty sure Happy was written for him, for example. Oh,
Okay.
I'm knocking everything on.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah. I think Mariah Carey, I think, is one. If I am speaking sacrilege,
Yeah,
I will go on the cross myself.
Oh, you said if I thought you said AFI, and I was like, that's a jump.
That-
It's a total genre jump. Yeah, I think it's been pretty traditional. Like a lot of those big belter, female vocalists. It's probably more rare for a lot of them to write their own stuff. I know that, like, as much as people are gonna groan to hear her name, like Taylor Swift, one of the things that actually makes her pretty unique is she has, and not all, but written a lot of her own stuff. Love it or hate
Yeah.
it. But you gotta respect the artistry of that. And I think of, like, in modern pop, how many? Boy, I dropped one of those shims inside this little hole here.
Oh yeah,
And I'll be damned if
that's
I can
very
get it out
easy to
now.
do, and very, very much a bit frustrating when that happens.
I'm gonna try to sacrifice this thing. Oh boy, come on.
So one of the artists I listen to heavily is Streetlight Manifesto. Streetlight Manifesto is a ska band, or they don't
Okay.
claim to be a ska band, but everyone calls them a ska band. So as such, they are a ska band. They're
Okay.
7 musicians. They got the guitar, the bass guitar, drums, saxophone, trumpet. Like they're
Bunch of horns.
they're a fucking ska band.
That's pretty ska. Yeah.
And they've been around the block for quite some time. Oh man, my
Okay.
rail is a little crunchy after I greased it up. hopefully that works
Wait,
itself
after
out.
you grease it up?
Yeah. You don't have to grease up your rails. It's pre-greased. I just chose to. And I'm starting to realize maybe I shouldn't have.
I'm glad I don't, because it's one of my least favorite things about 3D printing, like the lubrication of rails.
Yeah, I
Like,
just always do
never
it
liked
because
even though it's very necessary.
I just do it because I feel like I have to. I don't know.
No,
Yeah,
it's wise. I'm not saying not to. I don't like doing it. It's not fun.
yeah, no,
I would
one
love it
enjoys
if they had more reliable Zerk fittings where it could just be like hands free. Because inevitably I just somehow get it on me, and then I hate that feeling of trying to get grease on.
Oh god, I hate grease. I have it on my hands currently, and I'm just like silently cursing myself for deciding to do this. Anyway, so Streetlight Manifesto, phenomenal lyrics. Again, if for those that were here on Monday would know how I think I mentioned how like Streetlight is just so ingrained in my personality now that like I can't separate myself from them. I'm trying to think. One of my favorite lyrics from them is so you were born and that was a good day, and someday you'll die and that is a shame. But somewhere in the between is a life in which we all dream, and nothing and no one can ever take that away. It's one of my favorite quotes, like, ever. Because it really does just embody have fun with life.
Streetlight Manifesto. I'm gonna have to look that up because that's not a band I'm familiar with, but I appreciate good lyrics, and that sounds cool. Go ahead.
They are very ska punk, so a lot of their music is very punkish. Like they're
okay.
So okay, a little bit of backstory. Their most recent album, "The Hands That Thieve," is a reference to the previous music label that they were with. What happened was they were under contract with this company, Victory Records, and they were supposed to release a certain number of albums underneath Victory Records. They did. They released 4 albums under Victory Records. They released Keys Be Nights. They released Everything Goes Numb. They released 99 Songs Revolution, and they released Somewhere in the Between. Victory Records went back and said, okay, Keys Be Nights and 99 Songs Revolution are cover albums, they don't count. Now, Keys Be Nights is an album originally done by the band Catch-22, when Thomas Kaunucki...
I was going to say, that sounds familiar. Yeah. Okay.
Thomas Kaunucki was the front man of Catch-22 and wrote all the songs to Keys Be Nights. He was not happy with the quality they did under Catch-22, so he redid them under Streetlight. So that's technically original music, but, you know, Victory Records said no. 99 Songs of the Revolution absolutely was a cover album, but it was a really damn good cover album. So they said, okay, sure. They went on to make The Hands That Thieve. 2 days before The Hands That Thieve went on to music platforms, Thomas Kaunucki released The Hand That Thieves under his own record label before Streetlight did. As a result, Thomas Kaunucki owned all the rights to the music, because then, in all technicality, the Streetlight album was a cover album.
Okay.
So, because the other problem was Victory Records was not paying Streetlight any of the royalties from, like, Spotify, YouTube, etc. They were just taking everything. Because Victory Records was one of those pre-streaming record companies, so they were being really, really fucking shady.
Okay.
So anyway, they went to court because obviously Victory Records wasn't paying them. Victory Records was pissed off that they broke their contract essentially, and they were pissed off that Thomas Kaunucki was collecting all of the money from both albums because of that little stunt he did. Wow. And Streetlight won. Streetlight now owns all the rights to all their music. Victory Records does not. And that is the reason why it's called The Hands That Thieve. It is wonderful. In in that album, there is a song that is called "If Only for Memories." It is a beautiful song that is incomplete. So, in "If Only for Memories," there are 3 verses there, and it is essentially covering the journey of. I'm gonna say, I'm not gonna say the narrator because there's multiple narrators in the song, but it is covering. Actually, no, I will say the narrator. It is covering the life of the narrator, starting with when you were born, you were not alone. Nothing was carved into the stone. Quiet, but don't forget. Um, you heard the words say, "It won't get better than this." That was the sound of your father as he held you up to your mother, and no one will know the love as you felt right then. And it's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And it goes into the next verse where it's like, I'm trying to remember it. It's about feeling trapped at home and having to escape and having to go and leave home in order to discover yourself and discover you. And another beautiful. The Streetlight version does not have the 3rd verse because of what happened. Because technically, the Streetlight was a cover of Thomas. In the acoustic version from Tokay, it has the 3rd verse, and it ends. The 3rd verse says, it loops back, but instead of saying, instead of being the perspective of the child, it is the perspective of the parent saying, you hold them up, and the love, you give them the love of you give every ounce of the love that you were given. So you love your child as much as your parents loved you, kind of thing. And it is just this beautiful, beautiful rendition that has become my favorite song. And I'm now realizing I can play it and not actually get copyright stricken. Because, you know what, chat? We're going to play a song. So the only way to get this song, and the reason why I could play it without getting stricken, is because it's not posted by Tokay on any streaming platform. He used it specifically to target Victory Records. He did not use it to target anyone else. If you play this music, from what I understand, on stream, I'm not monetized right now, so I don't get knocked at all. But if you play it on stream, nothing's gonna happen because he's not going after people that play it. Now the automatic system only goes after the Streetlight version because he owns the right to it. So hold on, let me pull it up so we can all listen to it. Sadly, Pooch won't be able to hear it.
What? After all this, I don't even get to hear the song? Jeez, okay.
Right?
At least send me a link and I can look it up later on my own.
Oh, I absolutely will.
Don't even get to hear the song? Jeez, okay.
Right?
At least send me a link and
No, we don't want to hear ourselves. YouTube, get us away from there, please. Okay. Tokay, if only for memories. Here we go. Enjoy, chat. Let me make sure it's not too loud. There we go. I will shut up and let the music play while I remember where I was, because I think Pooch is ahead of me now.
Well, I'm putting the linear rail in, but I have a question.
Okay, give me
Ouch. Dead.
a second here. What's the question?
So the way the wires are going under the rail.
Yes. It's catching on the carriage.
Coming really they're really close to the carriage, so I'm kind of trying to bend them and stuff.
Don't worry about that too much.
I think the side panel is going to hold them aside, but I just want to make sure that I'm.
Once we put the side panel on, and then once we put the LED cover on, it completely pushes them out of the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's what I thought. I just wanted to make sure.
All good.
Text a bit here real quick. It looks like this. Yeah, that kind of pushes him down. I see what happens. Yep. Nope, that makes sense. That's gonna look really nice. Alright. Some socket head M38s. Here they are. That wasn't hard. The beauty of the further we get on this install, the less screws I have to hunt through.
Indeed. That's one of the nice parts.
I rerouted some my heater wires. Actually, I'm sorry, the Z motor I ended up rerouting underneath the end stop or the linear rail spacer, which seems to be a much nicer way to go about it.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Tells you to do that.
Mama Nomad is here.
I'm a nomad.
My mother has apparently developed a small fan base.
That's nice.
Yeah, Mom, everyone would like you to come to London with us.
Is she not going? Is it just your dad?
Yeah, just me and my dad. Mom, Mom, you compromised your identity already. She was on one of the streams, on Manic streams. Yeah, she outed herself as my mom, and I'm just sitting there like, well, all right, the jig is up.
Was it a secret?
I mean, I didn't want to out her because I didn't know if she wanted to be known as my mother. And, well, on Manic stream, she forgot that her chat name was her name. And so, yeah, she outed herself. She says, yeah, people want her to go because she's the cooler one. I mean, I can't argue with that.
That's it. Cat's out of the bag.
One of my favorite stories about going on vacation with my mom is when we went to Pompeii. So when I was really little, I think I was like 5 or 6, we went to Italy. And this was back when all of the petrified people were still in the city. They weren't removed or anything.
Okay.
And when we went there more recently, oh, my mom's saying no, actually. Apparently I'm telling the story wrong. Well,
to tell the story, you better tell it right, man.
The preempt to the story doesn't change all that much. But when we went there recently, there was like all the petrified people were gone. They removed them for a traveling exhibit. You know, that's fine. You know, whatever they want to do with that history, it's their choice. So because a lot of the stuff was just not there, my mom just started going off and telling her own version of the stories that was happening. Like, oh yeah, this is oh man, I just realized I can't tell the full story because it is not PG, because if you ever go to Pompeii, you will realize just how not PG Pompeii is.
Okay.
Let's just say the Romans were the Romans were very comfortable with themselves.
Okay.
Yeah, I just remembered that.
You got me thinking, like, you know, if you were about to be buried in volcanic ash and had your last moments on Earth, like, what would you be doing? Is that what you're alluding to?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But not even that. I mean, there was plenty of that, but even when there was no threat of volcano, they were just very
Yeah.
yeah
Different times.
yeah.
And they didn't have Netflix, so
Nope. Look, I'm allowed to talk about it because it's called history. We're all adults here. I never say this is a family-friendly stream. I very much say that this is the adult swim of 3D printing channels.
yeah.
Oh man, I'm glad I remember that. Anyway, so a lot of that stuff was removed. So like my mom's like, yeah, this is where the cows come to get slaughtered, and it's like, that's clearly not what happened here. My mom's making up the history as we go because we're bored out of our mind, and we're all just dying laughing at this, you know.
We call that revisionist historian.
Yeah,
like that. Your mom's a good revisionist
the
historian.
best part about this is, of course, is like, I want to say the third or fourth or whatever number, the nth time my dad's been there, and my dad is a historian buff. He will always just walk through and just absorb the history as it was, and the dichotomy of my parents is hilarious. You know, my dad's like, that's not what happened, and my mom's like, this is totally what happened. That is a fun story. Mom, just be glad I don't tell the red wine story.
Okay. You can tell that to me, I guess, on another occasion.
Now everyone's gonna ask, wait, what's the red wine story? I'll let my mom tell it in chat if she wishes to. She knows the story I'm talking about. Okay, I need oh yeah, I just put the heat set insert in. I need a M3x12 wafer.
Is this hole deep enough? Yeah, I guess it is. Okay, come on, insert.
Oh no, my mom just said, you know, I also have nomad stories. You know,
good. We want all the stories.
Mom, I love you. I do have sponsors that I have to keep happy to some degree.
Oh, now look, it's PG when he doesn't want to be embarrassed. It's Adult Swim when it suits him.
All right, let's go back to Monster Cat so I can guarantee I don't get content ID'd.
Boy, this heat set takes some doing here. It's really gotta sit in there, huh? Come on, almost there.
Oh. We do want to thank our sponsors. First sponsor of the night is my mother. Thank you for putting a roof over my head for the past 27 years of my life. Thank you to KB3D and LDO for helping make these streams possible. KB3D is a phenomenal source of pretty much any and all like printer parts that you might need. They are super cool, super chill. We love them. Wait, what's going on here? This is the right. Why is that not going all the way in? I'll have to investigate that. KB3D is awesome. They are huge supporters of Positron. If you ever need spare parts, you can easily go to KB3D. They have all the spare parts you could possibly need for Positron. What? That's not right. What? Wait, what? Hold on. Sorry, I'm having a moment. Wait, how? What? Huh. Did I grab a screw that's too long? Dark Third Dimension says this is when Pooch puts a t-shirt on that says Nomad Spawn.
What?
Oh, hold on. Pooch's video looks to be... Oh, no, you're not frozen. You're just very focused.
Soaking it all in, man. Just soaking it all in. These heat sets seem to be taking their pretty time getting.
Yeah, these are tricky ones. I think I grabbed the wrong length of screw here. Did I?
For what? Are you doing printed tensioner block, or are you ahead of me?
Yes. It says to grab M3 by 12. I think I grabbed like an M3 by 14 or an M3 by 16 FHCS. Because
Wafer head M312 and a hex female standoff.
oh yeah, the screw I grabbed was way too long. I went to screw it into the block and it stuck out.
I don't think these heat sets like sit quite flush. I got them like
Mine are just flush.
There we go. I got them. They just really got to bore themselves in there.
Yeah.
Okay. Get you all the way to the bottom.
It's okay, Dark Third Dimension. I had dyslexia myself. I know the struggle. I am so glad schools don't teach cursive anymore, because, well, I mean, why am I glad? I guess when I have a kid, I won't have to teach them cursive. Oh, God.
I thought they started doing it again. I heard a rumor that they were, but I don't know.
Did they?
I think my kids have moved past that. They're too old now.
I'm not sure. You know, I haven't been in 3rd grade for a while.
No, it's been a minute.
Yeah, I remember trying to learn. So in all like the spelling tests, I remember they used to put me on like these digital typewriters to try and help me not mess up words. I was terrible at spelling.
Okay.
I was absolutely terrible at spelling. I don't believe I ever passed a spelling test. But now I'm like, I am very proud of my lexicon. My vocabulary it's quite verbose. But yeah, when I was little, oh Lord, I could not.
We done installing heat sets yet, or no?
We are really close to being done. I think the only ones we have left are the tool head. When we get to that.
Got it. All right, we got the tensioner block. I need the M312 wafer heads. Those are 16. These are 8. 12 wafer head. Here we go. That is still hot. And we need a 3x6x1/2 washer.
All right.
And another tiny idler.
There we go. That's on there. Oh, and now we install the right panels. I totally skipped ahead on this. Oh well. I think I had you skip ahead as well with me on that one.
These are the same. 3/6/2.
Okay. I'm 2.5x6 FHCS. think I'm starting to realize I think I'm probably the only 3D printing streamer of which can you build a laser engraver next T40 to 50 watt? I mean, technically yes. I wouldn't recommend any of my audience do it. That's a dangerous thing to do. Pooch, how familiar are you with laser engravers or laser cutters?
Pretty familiar. We do a lot of laser cutting.
Okay.
Back in the Ripbox manufacturing.
So my
I
mom,
still do, but
and mom, I'm gonna say this not as an insult, but my mom does a lot of tchotchke things, like very customized little gifts, like customized cutting boards, customized
sure.
little. I'm trying to remember what else she does. She does engraving of tumblers and stuff like that. She is torn between 3 lasers currently. The X tool, I think it's the P2. It's a diode.
Their little Galvo one. Yeah. Okay.
No, it's a large diode. The
It's a
Omtech.
diode, but it's a full cut and engrave bed.
Yeah.
We're not talking about the Galvo ones that are like meh, like paint.
Yeah, I
more for
need one of those
engraving, not
tiny
cutting.
ones. And then there's the Omtech Polar, and the I can't even say it. I can probably spell it. It's like GWEI. The Gwirk. I don't know. Are you familiar with any of those?
No, unfortunately, I am not. I hear good things about Omtech just in general, but I use more like pretty large CO2 laser cutters and industrial and stuff. So
yes, type. I'm never gonna say your name right. Tibber is what I'm just gonna call you. Yes, that company. My mom's currently thinking X-Tool, but I think she should move to CO2. Just for the versatility of a CO2 laser.
Yeah, you get more versatility, but they get more expensive, and those tubes are more expensive, and it just depends. I mean, it gets like orders of magnitude, more expensive the larger you get. Obviously, they take up a lot more space and stuff too.
Thankfully, the three that we're looking at,
it's a great tool if you're a crafty person for sure.
Oh yeah, the tool that we're looking at for her, they're all within the same price range.
Gotcha.
Yeah, she's just
rotary attachments on all those for like tumblers and stuff, or are they like separate upgrades? Okay.
The X tool apparently is able to do curved surfaces, like able to adjust for that, which I think it's kind of cool, but it is a diode. So you gain that versatility of it being able to do somewhat curved surfaces if it does what it says, where the Omtech has the CO2, which would allow her to do far more if she ever wanted to kind of expand into other materials. So I'm torn because I think the X tool would be good for her, but yeah, there's that part of me that's like, CO2 is at this price range. Definitely, if you can get a CO2, get a CO2. At least that's my thought process.
Yeah, it's what kind of price point are we talking about on those?
We're looking at like 2.5 thou.
Oh, for 2.5. Okay, so these are freestanding. These are not desktop. These are like.
These they're kind of desktop-y. Like they're big, but they'll fit. They'll take up about the same space, at least XY as like a Prusa XL, a little bit larger.
Gotcha. For that price point, you can start looking at some of those, but again, it's just a matter of how much space you have and how often. So the desktops are great for like every once in a while, but if she's like regularly making a business out of it and stuff, getting a freestanding and ones with a pass through and stuff, so you have more flexibility to do all different sizes.
Yeah,
But, maybe that's a
she's
bit much.
she's using it fairly regularly. Not like it's not like a 24/7 thing. So she's not just cranking stuff out. But
Is it a daily thing? Is it a weekly thing?
I want to say
How
it's
often?
like every other day she's doing something on it. So like fairly
Okay, so
regular.
good amount.
I'm gonna wait to push that all the way in because I need to show you how to do this because we skipped this step and are gonna have to do it now.
Okay, so I just finished doing the printed tensioner block. So what do you need me to show
Okay,
me? I'm about to
so-
do the right side.
Yes,
panel.
do the right side panel, and then I will show you how to do the LED strips because we skipped this step a while back.
Okay, so I've got to do the right side panel. So I got to do more heat set inserts into the rear cable panel. So I gotta ask, I don't know. I mean, I get the order of operations for context and stuff, but man, do I really wish we just did all of our heat inserts up front. Because, like, process-wise, to like keep getting them out and
Yeah.
do every new step, I find that to be kind of time-consuming and inefficient. But that's my process.
So that is a piece of feedback that we've gotten pretty reliably, and my team's kind of torn. We agree, like we think we should, say, hey, do all of the inserts first, but at the same time, we're also like, for people that are newer, it's, I don't know. There's people that say, yeah, we can all do it at the beginning, but then there's also that's like, well, if you do it all at the beginning, you may not know that your part doesn't fit or something. I don't know. I have to double check what our reasoning was. For right now, we kind of just left it as is because it works. It's not the best, but it works.
Gotcha.
I think what we might do is just make a separate guide that is all of the heat set inserts. So like, hey, you can either do it while you assemble, or here's all the things you do. Actually, I think that is.
Yeah, I think that's not a bad way to do it.
Yeah.
So people can at least see. Because there's no reason you don't have to change any of this. You could just be like, okay, here's all the parts if you want to do all your heat sets now.
Yeah.
And if they want to do them as they go, you could.
See, sometimes I just gotta think out loud, and then solutions come to me. And sometimes those solutions come to me in the form of someone named Pooch.
Huh. Well, I realize I'm not the way that everybody does it, and I'm not one to, like, maybe, I'm missing something. This is the first time I've done it, so there could be a good reason. It could just be something you guys haven't gotten to yet.
Yeah.
That's totally fine. I do think, just, order of operations from, like, all the things I've built and installed, like, anytime you have the opportunity to just, like, use one tool and then move on from it, so you're not having to get it out and do it again. Yeah.
Welcome to the chat.
Again, could be moved.
I
don't know. What do you guys think? What's the chat think? Take an impromptu survey.
Sure. Chat. Actually, I'll make this a proper survey. I'm very curious to see what the results of this will be.
I will be the first to admit that my way is not always the way everybody wants to do it.
Yeah. It's also very much a situation of, and there's a lot of like little problems with the Positron, like tiny ones. I'm talking about super tiny. And could it take us maybe a few hours to fix? Yeah. We haven't, only because there's bigger problems we had to focus on. Okay, so poll.
Well, that's exactly it, right? Priority.
Yeah.
Like the public will yell and scream they want this, that, and the other thing, but they're not, savvy to all the other issues that you've got to go through. There we go.
All right, there we go. The poll has started for order of operations for heat set inserts. Do you, 1, do it all at the start, or 2, as you go? Let's see what chat's preference is. Let me catch up on chat real quick here. Tanner Dude Man says, is Positron gluten-free? I'm happy to say that Positron is in fact gluten-free. Unless you use some types of non-synthetic grease, in which then there might be some gluten in the grease.
Yeah.
The lasers that scare me are the open frame diode ones. Oh yeah. My mom did start with one of those like Creality diode lasers. I was like, you are getting these glasses. They are expensive as hell, but you are getting these, and you are not to take them off while you're in the room with this thing. I was very adamant about that. Woko, I already said hello. Shenanigans 3D, hello, welcome. TechTuber is asking my mother, if you plan on doing any cutting versus engraving, CO2 is highly recommended. You can cut with a diode, but it takes forever and isn't as clean. Yep, that is
Boy,
definitely one of the
howdy.
things. She doesn't do a lot of cutting, so that's kind of a benefit. It's mostly engraving.
I'm the opposite. We do a ton of cutting with a little bit of engraving.
I say we make the Uber SB hot end. What? Dark Third Dimension. I would call printing upside down a super tiny problem, Nomad. Listen. Priorities. Pooch, what part are you at here?
I'm ready to. So I just finished my heat set thing, and I'm just trying to see where this thing goes. So it looks like I wasn't supposed to put the rest of the side panels on yet, or is it just showing me that it slides into that little channel?
Oh yeah, the one in the back, the small one.
Right. Yeah. So where this little cable.
Yeah. I think we may have put that on.
Slide this thing down
earlier. It should just slide in.
Yeah, it does. The way the step is showing, like, as the side parts off again. I wasn't sure if it was because I did something wrong and shouldn't have installed those yet, or I'm colliding.
No, as I mentioned earlier, I think we skipped a little bit ahead and did like both sides of the side panels when I think because I was going a little quick. Like that's one of the things I do. I do all the side panels at the same time, even though I probably shouldn't.
Okay, well, this seems like it's fine. I have just slid that slot into the tab, and I'm assuming that little channel is where my cables go in. Because you had me attach the ZN stop.
Yep, all the cables go out the back through that little archway.
Okay. And then we're gonna fasten it with some M2510s, which I have here from earlier.
So many of those screws. So many. I think Friday is just going to be, let's actually put away all the screws that we have.
I'm happy I brought my little standing pad, which is a kneeling pad at the moment. So if you do a lot of assembly work or standing on your feet or working and standing, you got to get the squishy foam mat to stand on. Required. Okay, we have some hole alignment things. You know what? Hold on, where is that? So I think it's running into the standoff ever so slightly. That's for the linear rail. So I'm just gonna shave a touch off of it so it fits, so I can screw that thing in there. Because yeah, it's just colliding ever so. Where are my flesh cutters? Here they are.
I love some YouTube comments just throttle me, man. So I commented a while ago.
They're designed to do. Yeah.
On someone posted a short of Mitch's backpack positron, which everyone loves. And someone asked a question, the walking and bumping might set off the alignment, and I said, actually, no, everything is nice and tight. And then someone just commented, it still gets messed up. And I'm like, I mean, I responded, I mean, if you believe so, I wore the thing and it printed perfectly complex items with no problem. Like, what?
It never ceases to amaze me the amount of like certainty that people will comment on things with zero experience with it.
Right? It's like,
unless like was this individual actually like wearing a backpack positron and speaking from experience?
no.
Right. So how is it that people have such conviction when they're just like theorizing and like having like, what's the saying? Confucius say, "Man who says it cannot be done should not interrupt man who is doing it."
Right? It's just, I find it really funny where it's like, it's like that old meme where it's like, you know, the one person's like, oh, I would love to meet a man like this, and then the person in the photo is like, hi, and then they're like, get away, creep, and it's like, I'm literally the person in the photo. Like,
yeah. Yeah.
It's like that, but you know, with 3D printing, it's like, oh no, but that's gonna be messed up. It's like, but no, and they're like, yeah, no, it will. It's like, but I'm literally the person in the video.
I kind of know what I'm talking about. I did it. I've lived this life.
Like,
no, you still don't know what you're talking about.
I've had one of the most common things I answer is the most common question we get on videos is, why is it so expensive? Why is it so expensive? And the simple answer to that is that, at least at this time, there's no subsidies or grants that allow us to make our printer cheaper. Then that's just, you know, the fact of it. And as a result, it's going to be as expensive as it is. Whereas if you look at other printers that are coming over from overseas, they are not only, unlike Positron and Vorons, where LDO is making them in batches, they're not dedicating a whole assembly line to making it as efficient as possible. But these other companies are making assembly lines to just churn out these printers as efficiently as possible. They are also subsidized by their own government to make it really cheap. They have investors and all this that just help drive down the price. You know, Prusa is not eligible for, at least, you know, or wasn't. Now that Prusa's in the United States, it's a different story. Wasn't available for, you know, US grants. As far as I'm currently aware, there are no grants aside from military contracts for, you know, making 3D printers in the United States. So, you know, if I were to bring Positron completely into the States, it would be like twice as expensive because there's no way to offset the cost. It would just be super expensive. So I try to explain this to people as just because education's important. And I just get, no, it's like, okay, if you think you can do it for cheaper, the BOM is completely available for you to attempt, and we would very much like you to try. Which is a amazing point for me to bring up a recent project that I've been assisting with. There is someone, I keep forgetting his username. I feel terrible. I think it's James. He's been working on what's called the Lemontron. So the Lemontron is a derivative of our original V3 design, but has incorporated some design changes from the Positron LT, from the Journeymaker, and other branches of the original V3 design. And also has incorporated some parts from the 3.2. Most notably, they incorporated our new hot act, which is awesome. And I think their BOM currently stands at like 450 in total, because rather than like have a ton of machined parts, it is mostly 3D printed. And there's only like one or two CNC parts. And it is insane that they were able to get it that cheap. But that's awesome. You know, that
Well, yeah.
It,
I mean, it's funny. Anytime you get people commenting on stuff like this, it's like if you've never experienced like actually sourcing or manufacturing something, and you're commenting on how much you think something should cost, like, what is your theory based on? Like, just
yeah.
your experience as a consumer and like what you paid for something that you consider to be like a similar product. I think that's what most people are doing. They're like, well, wait, I bought an Ender. And I'm like, this is not an Ender, and there's nothing about this kit. If you've gone through this, like, this is not a mass production. This is a bespoke kit.
Yeah.
This is not built for mass production to be cheap. But that's not a comparison most people even know how to make. So,
I mean, to be
yeah,
fair, like,
I understand your frustration.
the most of the people that say that kind of stuff are like the people that have never built a kit printer. If they are in the 3D printing hobby, they are likely to get a Bamboo or a Sobol or a Creality, just one of these printers that just work, and they just work out the gate.
Yeah.
Like, Andrew, welcome to the chat.
Why is a custom PC build, so expensive compared to just buying a Dell or something? It's like it's not even apples to apples. It's not even close to apples to apples.
Andrew, welcome to the chat. He says, I don't know what we're talking about, but if it costs more than $1, it's all corporate greed, clearly. Also, hello, everyone.
Clearly.
Welcome to the chat. We appreciate that sense of humor here. But yeah, it is just like building a computer. You could easily buy a really high-end computer from any box printer or box computer store, be that Dell, Lenovo, etc. You could get it that easily. And if we look at gaming PCs, you can get a quote-unquote gaming PC from any of those outlets. Real quick, did you attach your bed cable? The braided bed cable.
Bed cable is... Oh, wait, the braided bed...
Yeah. It's in the electronics box. It has the XT30 2+2 connector.
Okay.
That's
fine.
That's one more cable you have to plug in.
Braided bed cable.
Yeah, you can go to these computer box stores and just get a computer. That's gonna be the braided one, long braided one. Yep. Doesn't matter which end. Just you're gonna want to route it through that arch and plug it into the motherboard there.
Dunzo.
There we go.
Clickety clack.
Anyway,
that's a snug fit. Oh, I wish I'd done that earlier. Hold on.
The laptop that we worked on last week, my Alienware, I got my Alienware for, I want to say, like $1,000 back in like 2016. But it has an i7 6700 HQ, 32 gigs of RAM. You know, it is a really impressive computer, but because it's Alienware, it's super cheap. And I mean, almost 10 years later, it's still kicking. Like, this thing's still going. But I could easily build a similarly spec'd desktop that does everything that this computer does. But it's going to be way more expensive because you built it yourself. Now, there are ways that you could absolutely chase those zeros and make it for as cheap as possible. Like, that is a whole thing in and of itself, making a budget build as, you know, price effective as possible. But I'm just talking about you just buy what you see. Like, you don't hunt for deals, you don't hunt for you know, good prices. You get what looks nice and you use that. Like a no compromises sort of thing. And that's what a Voron is. A Voron is that, but for, you know, printers.
I mean, I would argue. Wait, are you saying a Voron is a? I'm sorry, I'm missing what you're saying. A Voron is the.
It is like a desktop, like gaming PC. Like you build it yourself. It's going to be more expensive.
Oh yeah.
But it's going to be more customizable to what you want. You're going to be able to do whatever the hell you want with it, and that is the appeal of it. Oh, you're up to that step?
I was just looking how this is laying over here. So I think I'm ready to put the other rail on, or the other, the mid cover, I think is what it was called.
Yes. Once you
This
put that
guy?
on, I'll swap back to my view. Andrew asks, how long has Pooch been trying to build this Positron? Oh, we've been actually doing it in tandem. My unit is right here, and we're pretty much at the same step. This is our 4th stream, so 4 days.
We've been
Really?
taking our sweet time.
Oh yeah,
We're not rushing it. We're just enjoying it.
When we originally released the Positron, the average build time was about 10 hours. But now that more people have gotten it, it's down to 6. So like if you get yourself a Positron, you can build this in a day. Super easily. We're taking our time. Because obviously we're talking to you guys, we're having fun.
lyrics.
We're talking about music, about like music theory, like, you know, we're just chilling, having a good time.
Yeah, it doesn't get much better.
Andrew says you could just have Steve build your Voron if you're like Pooch.
That's right. Well, that's next. So if I don't finish it tonight, I'm gonna have Steve come over and just finish it for me.
There you go.
His running joke is that I just have Steve Builds do all my stuff for me, which is not completely incorrect. I rely on Steve's help and generosity and his time sometimes.
Yeah, I
But we
don't
have
live in
fun, too, and we
California,
get tacos.
so Pooch would have to pay for my flight.
Yeah. I know he's not wrong though. He likes to give me grief about this stuff, but we're having a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. If I was looking at this and being like, okay, if this was going to be a mass-produced printer, I mean, it would just be, you know, grossly different from what it is in the sense that, you know, the whole bottom would probably be an injection mold. Now, the base plate is interesting because you said it heat sinks everything.
Yeah.
So that's an interesting design. But again,
So-
if you're looking to make this thing as inexpensive as possible, that probably would be off the table. You certainly wouldn't be doing this custom CNC'd actual carbon fiber, you know, panel. That's not going to be cheap.
Certainly.
There's so many things that would be different about this if it was a mass-produced thing.
Yeah. But actually, so what you meant about like the injection molded base, it's funny you mentioned that. I mentioned the Lemontron earlier. That's like that's what they do. I mean, they're not injection molding, but the entire base of the Lemontron is a unibody print. So you print the whole thing, and it's just one unibody piece. I think it's pretty cool.
It's not to say that one's better than the other. It's just a different process, and you know, and
I have
priorities.
not tested it myself, so I cannot say if it is a good approach, but I think it is a damn cool one.
Well, I mean, I have this discussion every day, multiple times a day with a lot of creators and stuff like that who are, you know, always struggling to like, you know, who is this printer for? Right?
Yeah.
Because the thing that so many people just seem to get hung up on is that if they see something in their feed, they assume it's for them and they just start commenting like how stupid it is because it doesn't feel like it applies to them. Like, not a lot of people really can stop and be like, yeah, this isn't for me, and scroll. I mean, I think plenty of people are, but you don't hear from them, right? And so that creates this mentality for a lot of us. Is just like, oh, we're hearing all this hate because I don't know, people don't have anything better to do than make some sort of snide comment.
Yeah, like it is no secret that I have a bias against Bamboo, and that is, I have gotten like 2 horror stories from Bamboo support where like I've just been the recipient of really bad customer support. One of which being, you know, during the A1 recall, I did not have the original box to ship it back in. So I said, hey, can you put a hold on my account, send me a new unit, and then I will send back this unit in the proper packaging. And their response in their ticketing system was, sure, please message us on TikTok. Like, what? And then the other one,
on TikTok, huh?
yeah, that, like I have a screenshot of that. It's bonkers. And I work in service desk. I work help desk. I flipped out. I'm like, no, I'm not contacting you on TikTok. I'm in your ticketing system. And then the other one being where a $10 part broke on my X1 and I had to spend $120 to repair it. So I am a bit biased against Bamboo, but I will tell people, hey, if you want the lowest barrier of entry printer to... Oh, we are getting choppy here. What's going on?
Boy, there's not a lot of
Your video
not a
is
lot of clearance
choppy.
between these sides and the carriage for the linear rail.
Oh yeah, it is a very tight clearance.
Did I skip an alignment process? I'm manually loosening the screws and getting because it was binding up on these mid panels here, so I'm just kind of like.
No,
Getting it
we
so that
we
it's
did
not
not really
rubbing.
get to a point of alignment. But if it's getting caught on
Is
the
there a point that I'm missing?
no, but if it's getting caught on like the bottom pieces, that's one of the things I'm waiting on to help you with.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So all I did was loosen it. I'm just manually going back through here, and now I can retighten down the screws. Like,
Yeah.
So it seems like I have a perfect alignment tool in the frame itself here.
Yeah, actually.
But-
Anyway, back to
Anyway.
what I was saying here.
Yeah. So your bamboo experience. Sorry.
Yeah. So
There we go.
despite me having those issues with my bamboo, I still recommend it to people that want a minimum barrier to entry printer because it is like the whole thing about bamboo is that it kind of does it for you. I don't like it because it does it all for you, and it's like, do you really learn a lot about 3D printing if it's doing everything for you, kind of thing? But my personal recommendation.
But a lot of people don't care about that, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people don't care about learning. They just want a tool to get them to print, right?
Yeah.
And that's okay.
For me, my personal recommendation right now is a used Mark III, a Mark III S or Plus. I forget which one's like the newer one. And the reason I recommend that is because you can get, just by like even your postings, you can get a used Prusa Mark III for really cheap. And even more so, there are so many mods currently available for the Prusa Mark III that you can easily not only repair it however which way you want, but you could easily customize it however which way you want. So it is not only a really good printer that has been proven its reliability, but it's also just the easiest way to introduce yourself to like customizing the printer. So you don't have to worry about, things breaking too horrendously.
So I would say yes, and I think that is a recommendation. I think, the challenge is you really have to do a little interviewing of the person that's asking you for a recommendation these days in terms of like what kind of person are they? Like, are they really willing to like? Do they want to learn? Do they want to upgrade? Like, will they invest the time?
Yeah.
Because I agree with you. I think there's a lot of value to be had there, and that is a perfectly valid way to go about it. But if they're honest that they don't, which is a growing segment of the market.
Oh yeah.
Then there's no one size fits all recommendation for a lot of these things.
And Tech Cheaper, yes,
Okay, so
we skip the light bars because I do that step later in my assembly, and since he's kind of following along with me, we decided to skip that until like just about now.
So I've got my diffuser.
Okay.
And I was just about to put that on. Okay.
I'm gonna swap to my view here. Oh, that's the wrong button.
So I got my diffuser out. There we go.
Okay. Let's swap over. Okay, so get your diffuser.
I'm gonna walk over so I can see your screen better. Okay.
You're gonna want to.
Oh, different diffuser. You want me to get the long one?
Yes.
I was doing the small square one.
Yeah, this
So
is
you
actually
want me
what
to get the
Tech Cheaper
long one?
was just talking about. Yeah, this is normally a step done much earlier, but we skipped it intentionally.
Okay, so I've got two.
Yep.
Two strips. So those are the ones you want me to grab? Okay.
There is a clear. There's only one clear film that you need to remove, and it has the sticker on it that says "Please remove." So go ahead and remove that film.
Got it.
Rob, yeah, you could totally start following along if you like. We're a little far ahead, so you're gonna have to play catch up. But yeah, feel free to follow along, Rob.
Catch up. Wait, when do we get to see the results of the survey, by the way?
Oh, good point. Let me look right now.
We got 15 votes. Wait, hold on, I got a vote. Let me get that in there. Doop, 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 doop. Pooch voted. Whoa. So according to this, a quarter of you are wrong.
Yeah. So according to the poll, 75% of you guys say do the heat set inserts all at the beginning. 25% of you say do it as you go. Interesting. Okay.
But
That
as I
actually
like to say,
is really valuable
What do you think?
data
Go
for
ahead.
us. So I will actually bring that up in our next meeting, which, oh no, I forgot to schedule our next meeting. I'm going to have to schedule the next Positron meeting.
keep in mind your sample size is pretty small here. But
Yeah.
as I like to always say, everyone is entitled to their incorrect opinions.
Absolutely. All right. Let me know when you're ready.
Okay, I've got my films are peeled, and
All right.
I'm
So
on the
looking
edge
at
of
your
my
printer,
seat, waiting to
Tilt
see
it.
what happens next. Yes.
on its butt, so you can like see down the rail.
Where is its butt?
It's where the
Looking
z-axis
down
will
the
go.
pipe. Okay, fine. Got it.
All right. So you're
Got it.
gonna take the diffuser. They're both exactly the same, but make sure that
To the
the
channel.
clear part, the part that doesn't have the white
Mhm.
tape on it, is facing upward.
Right.
You'll notice in the
Yes.
front panels that there's a channel that is perfectly sized for the actual light bar to slide in.
Okay. Not feeling very perfectly sized right now. Come on. That is not...
And yeah, you just want to kind of.
Okay, wait.
They should just kind of slide
Well-
in. The wires might stop them from sliding in. Just like use a tool to kind of push those wires down, and then the light bar will slide further in.
I feel like each of my parts was just slightly oversized to the point where it's really affecting some fitment at this point. So
Maybe.
there's a bit of a groove, and I just don't have. So here's a question: the holes. There's a hole on one end of each of these diffusers. Is the hole going
Yes.
back toward the Z? Or...
Yes.
Okay,
It
right.
goes all the way back towards Z.
Okay. Yeah, no, these are definitely too wide for this channel opening. Maybe
You might want to loosen
it
your.
looks like they could.
Your
Yeah,
Z?
but I mean, it's too tight on both sides. So if I loosen the Z, can I get past that, or is it gonna sit? Because I think I see where the holes are supposed to line up.
Yeah.
I don't think this is gonna fit, homie.
I mean, you could just take off the Z-axis. We're not that far in. You could just take, or not the Z-axis. The
Hold on, I'm coming. I'm going in from the backside. That's what I'm doing. It
That-
seems to work better that way for me.
yeah, that could work too.
The only problem is as it hits the front here where the I just don't I feel like I need to get my Dremel tool and route out a channel, or maybe if I loosen this side panel it'll open up a touch more.
Yeah, I'm starting to
I might
think
have
your
easier
printed
time.
parts were just slightly oversized.
I think they were oversized because I think that's why my holes didn't fit, and I see just ever so slightly, just a little alignment. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna take my flush cutters and I'm just gonna nip a tiny bit. No, this is not sanctioned or kosher, probably. But
Everyone
for the
builds
sake
their
of
printer their
expedience-
own unique way.
For the sake of expedience, we'll say I'm going to. Oh, I see what happened too. So when I pushed it in, it was so snug it peeled the reflective
Yeah,
side
that's fine.
off.
It's not that big of a deal.
Okay, so that's that. Well, I mean, when you're trying to light pipe acrylic, it's always nice to have a reflective surface like that.
Yeah.
There was some care taken to these little reflectors being made. Like there's so if you guys have ever done a laser engraved acrylic to be a diffuser for light, the key is keeping the light bouncing around in here as much as possible. You're light piping the acrylic. And so a lot of the LED lights that we see for overhead now will have just a little piece of reflective tape on the side like this so that it maximizes the amount of light that stays in there bouncing around. And I just happened to knock the side of mine off when I was loading it in. So anyway, that was play-by-play you didn't ask for, but there you go.
Hey, play-by-plays
gonna
are
be-
fun.
So I'm just gonna cut a little, it's gonna snap, because acrylic likes to get snappy. But I'm just gonna cut a tiny chunk off of there. And probably
No.
step on that and cut my foot later.
Using football terminology reminds me. So who here watches football?
You're gonna talk about the most amazing Eagles play ever? captured
Yeah!
just a week ago.
Dude, that was. I'm not a
I
huge.
need to go. Okay, so I heard that I saw the internet going absolutely bonkers about this thing, and it occurred to me that I needed to like watch it on a larger screen in more detail because it was something to behold.
It
from what I
was
hear.
majestic.
Put it
I
nicely.
am not.
Like they were talking about it on NPR. It was like all over it was in the zeitgeist.
Yeah. So I'm not a huge football guy. I prefer hockey myself. But the Eagles are my team.
Yeah.
So,
My Eagles.
dude, just jumps over a whole human. Are you okay?
A whole human. Yeah, it was fine. I just shot a piece of acrylic into my neck. It kind of stung. He jumped over a whole human.
An entire
Not
human.
even a half human. Yeah, an entire. Yeah.
Like, and it was like
Even
from a
little more
dead
disturbing if
stance.
It was like a fractional human.
Like he was just standing there, kind of holding the ball, and then he just Mario jumped this dude. Like what?
Okay.
Like that one player must be glad he didn't get stomped on because he would have been like a Goomba, just disappeared.
All
Oh, it was
that
so
worked
good.
out.
There we go.
Wow, and they countersunk. This is okay. See, this is exactly why this kit is expensive, guys. The holes for the acrylic reflectors. First of all, the amount of care that was taken creating these diffusers is nuts. And then on top of that, they countersunk the hole, so there was some CNC process that had to happen in this tiny strip of acrylic so that we can fasten these now.
Yep.
I mean, I love the attention to detail, but my God, you have a lot of opportunity to cut costs on some of this
Oh,
stuff.
100%.
Yeah. Okay, so what screws do I need to attach those? It doesn't. Let me
It
skip
is
that from
sorry. It is
earlier.
the M2.5 by 6 FHCS.
They're just they're not wafers. They're flat. They're button heads, right?
No, not button heads.
Flat.
They're flanged.
Oh, flat. They're actually
Yeah, flat
tapered.
top,
Okay.
flange sides.
Okay, got it.
Well, Sebas,
256. Yeah.
Technically, a Positron Lite does exist. It's called Positron LT. And many of the Positron LT team members are now part of the Positron team because they helped make the 3.2.
You've absorbed them.
Somewhat. Not really, but like, somewhat. Like, what's the
They're
name?
yours.
Sample
Do with
name.
as you will.
Sample name, I like to call him our crazy German engineer, because he's German. And he's actually the mastermind behind the PCB bed. And
Okay.
he also is working with a friend of his who's also on the team. I just keep forgetting his name. Because he's a newer member of the team, and I'm just like still trying to remember names. They're currently working on a new extruder design, which is just way better than like what we have currently. What we have currently works great, but this new one, you don't have to clamp down the spring as much as the old one.
So something interesting occurs to me. I mean, like I kind of was aware of it before, but just as a comment that when you open source, I think this is one of the challenges of doing an open source hardware project, especially, is that when you have different people designing different segments of a machine over different time frames, they're all going to go about using some different parts and some methodology and stuff, and it's not done typically with cost reduction in mind, right? It's done with optimization of function in mind, which is cool and allows us to implement continuous improvement and all this stuff, but then creates challenges when you go back and try to update a BOM, and like, your bed designer might want to use certain kinds of fasteners, somebody else doing another part. If there was constraints applied, I'd find that interesting, where it's like, look, here are the types of fasteners that we're going to allow to be used. Any design you have to submit has to use these so that we can keep the costs under control. That would be an interesting design constraint.
So it's interesting
it
to say
would
that because we do.
Frustrate people. Huh? Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you?
We do.
Yeah, that's cool.
So right now, The design constraint is that if you want to change any part of the printer, the number one goal is that no additional hardware is required that is not provided from the original kit. So the idea with that is with all of the spare parts that you get, with all the original parts from the LDO kit, every upgrade or incremental upgrade we make can be done with what is available to you. So that
I'll tell you what, that still leaves you a lot of latitude, because there are I would argue you should probably try to find a way, if you were caring about BOM optimization, like there's opportunity to cut probably 30 to 40% of what you have, but it would feel painful.
Right now, and we're gonna probably save that for like Positron V4, only because
for sure. I know you guys are in progress here.
Yeah. We don't want to undercut anybody that buys a kit. Like, we don't want to, within 1 year of the lifespan, be like, oh, by the way, we've cut the cost in like a half. Because anyone that bought it before is going to be, a little miffed. It sucks when like, oh man, yeah, I got a Lamborghini and I love my Lamborghini, but all of a sudden they're now selling that exact same model Lamborghini for half the cost. I should have waited to buy the Lamborghini. I don't want that to happen. So my goal and the team's goal right now is, if we design something that is an improvement, we use only what's provided to us in the current BOM, so that anybody that has bought a kit and currently has a kit can implement it, and then LDO doesn't have to really do any work. LDO just keeps their current production line
doing what LDO keeps doing,
and it is the most seamless way to implement design upgrades that I currently can think of. So that's the one design constraint that we currently work with, which is, use the parts that are available. Now, there is a change that we're making, or we're planning to make, which does break that rule, and that is only because it adds one bearing, and that's it. There is a filament spool holder that can go on the top of the Z-axis that just uses a skateboard bearing. It's like, skateboard bearings are ubiquitous. Anybody can get them. So, if you already have a kit, you can get one for pennies from any hardware store. And it's so easy to add to the kit, because I know for a fact LDO has those bearings already. So, like, that's an exception when it's like, if it is absolutely ubiquitous and everybody has the ability to get it, all right, we can do that.
Gotcha. Well, it's good to know.
Yeah.
Okay, I feel that... Okay, did I miss a step here? So is this guy just sliding over? This is my idler block that I didn't install yet, and I put the hex thing in. It's supposed to go on the end here, but is it which way?
So it's supposed to be facing the front of the printer, because the tension's going to be pulling
facing
back.
this front of the...
Yes.
Tension from the back. Okay, so and it just slides over the rail there?
Yep. If it's a little tight, just use a little bit of grease.
It's going. Is it okay? And is it supposed to go all the way up to the LED diffusers?
Yeah. Yes, do that.
Just even with the back of the... Okay.
Yeah, push it kind of up. We're gonna pull it back in a bit. Essentially, when we put on the Z-axis, we're going to thread it so that the screw that is going to act as your tensioner just catches it, because this is the tensioner for our entire XY motion system.
Got it. That's kind of a critical part.
Yep.
And it's on there. Okay. All right, and that's rolling smooth. I've still got my bumper on the front here, so I can't accidentally slide it off. But that's nice. Okay. I think I'm ready to put my other side panel on. I've got my LED diffuser.
Yep.
Laying over top of it. Is it supposed to be glued into this?
So the little bracket that goes in there, because there's a printed bracket that kind of acts as a frame. I glue that in.
I got that.
I let the LED diffuser just float, because it will sandwich itself and it's not going anywhere. And there's very little movement in that space. Sure, it might rattle a little bit, but like this allows it to be repairable. So
mine is so tight it actually snap fits into the carbon fiber.
perfect.
Really well.
Mine does not,
Look at that.
but
That's actually quite a satisfying fit. So that's in there. So then that and then is there seems to be some machining on the inside of the acrylic here, though I don't see exactly what they're indexing to.
it's really
Looks like they
hard
just
to
lay over
describe it.
top of the light.
The one circle that is larger than the other three, there is a LED that is not a neopixel. Put that slightly larger LED or a slightly larger circle over that LED. It's in the bottom right of the cluster.
Yeah, I see what it is, and my assumption is that they did this machining so that again it creates some ability for it to refract light, pipe light a little bit better, and it makes it a little thinner there. So interesting.
Steven says, kind of funny. No man's
that's
wearing a Who shirt, and you just finished watching Blink. Blink is one of my favorite episodes of Doctor Who, especially the Tennant era. Are you just
Okay.
rewatching, or are you just getting into Doctor Who, Steven? I am very curious.
Is Doctor Who like the longest running TV series ever at this point?
It is the longest
It has to
running
be.
sci-fi show.
Okay. What show has been running longer? Because like I remember my dad was into Doctor Who like when I was a kid, and they were on their, I don't know, there were a couple doctors in at that point, you know, like
Longest running TV show. Let's see. I love how I searched that, and it's like longest running American. It's like, no, I don't want American. Okay.
just at all. Like it's like still being produced.
So
and-
The Simpsons is been going since 1987, 34 seasons. Sesame Street has been
Gotta be
going for
older than
54
Simpsons.
seasons.
Sesame
Late Night,
Street. Okay.
The Tonight Show is 70. Soap opera
Oh, I didn't think.
Coronation Street 64. Last of the Summer Wine sitcom 31. Law and Order for 23
know what
seasons.
that is.
Survivor
Law
has
and
been
Order.
going on for 46 seasons.
Well, hold on a second. Survivor. Back here. Survivor has had multiple seasons in like a year. So like what they're considering a season, I call shenanigans on that one.
Yeah,
Keep going.
I'm not entirely sure about that. Oh, but Doctor Who's not in that list. One second. Doctor Who
This list is incomplete. Okay.
longest.
I need to put an M6 hex nut. Did I not do a hex nut on the other side? I might have forgotten to put the M6 hex nut on the other side of it.
Okay, yeah. According to Wikipedia, Doctor Who is the longest running. Where did it say it? Oh, did I just lose it? Is the longest running science fiction television series in the world, as well as quote unquote most successful.
How many years? Like how longest running? are we
Oh
talking?
man. Well, so
It doesn't say in
that's where it gets
Wikipedia?
interesting, because technically there was this considerable period where it stopped, but it initially released, as Robert said, November 23rd, 1963, the day of Robert F. Kennedy's assassination.
Like, oh wow, that's an interesting piece. So that's
Yeah.
60. That's 60 years. 61 years?
Yeah. This year is,
Dang.
I believe it's 60th. Yeah, it was its 60th anniversary this year, or last year. Last year. Duh. Because the last.
Nah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Okay.
But yeah, so the original run was from 1963 to 1989. Then it went on hiatus for a long time until 1996. when the Doctor Who movie was then released, which, poor Paul McGann, that man needs a chance at his own series. Like, so the story behind that, the Doctor Who movie was the attempt for Doctor Who to break into the American market and get picked up by Fox. It was a direct to movie thing, and it did not go well at all. It was really popular in Britain, but it was just not popular in the United States, and so Fox didn't pick it up. And so people jokingly said that Paul McGann killed Doctor Who. False. Paul McGann kept Doctor Who alive, and he is a phenomenal doctor, and he does, like, if you listen to any of the audio dramas, oh my god, it's so good. He actually, for the longest time, thought that he was the reason Doctor Who died, and he blamed himself for the longest time, like, had that guilt, until he started going to Doctor Who conventions and started seeing how much love for his character there was, and realized he didn't kill it. He was a light in the darkness, and that is really touching. Anyway, and then it picked up in 2005 to the current present.
Interesting.
I'm a
Wait,
massive.
so you said there was a hiatus between the 60s and the 90s?
Yeah.
No, there was. It was going
between
on.
Between 1989 to 1996, there was no Doctor Who. TV was.
Okay. So I must have caught some of that. Well, and that's not to say that it couldn't have been syndicated and they were showing reruns at some point too. But I definitely remember watching it in the 80s. So it must have been pre their hiatus then.
Yeah. Because essentially it was like, you know, it was thought of as a kids show back then, and no one wanted to watch.
Show?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And they're like, yeah, no one wants to watch this kid show full of bug-eyed monsters. There is a documentary called An Adventure in Time and Space that goes over, oh no, I'm forgetting his name. William Hartnell as the first Doctor, and how, like, the show came to be. It is... I'm tearing up thinking about it, because it really is, like, a love letter to Doctor Who. And my favorite part about that documentary is that at the very end of it, this was released when Peter Capaldi was the 12th Doctor. And the very last scene of the entire documentary is William Hartnell recording his last episode as the Doctor, standing at his TARDIS console, and just, like, you could see, like, the sadness in his face that, like, it's gonna be over. Then he looks over and there's Peter Capaldi standing there just smiling back, and it's, of course, it's not William Hartnell, the original actor, because William Hartnell's passed, but whoever is playing William Hartnell looks exactly like William Hartnell. It's terrifying. And it's just, it is so heartwarming, and I love it, because it really embraces, you know, the whole fact that Doctor Who is a generational show now, and
it's like multi-generate. I mean,
yeah,
I mean, arguably.
I volunteered
3 or 4 I mean, you said 60 some years, so it's
yeah.
Like...
I volunteered at the Franklin Institute in Philadelphia, which if you've never been to the Franklin Institute in Philadelphia, please, if you ever visit Philadelphia, go to the Franklin Institute, especially if you bring family, kids. It is one of the best science museums in the United States. I volunteered there for a couple years as a camp counselor, and because we did summer camps, we would often, you know, go to the exhibits to let the kids just kind of do an exhibit for the day, or for a couple hours in between classes. And I remember there's the electric exhibit. I forget what it's called. It's like Edison something, or Jefferson. I forget. There's a giant Tesla coil in the middle of that room, just on the ceiling, and on every hour it goes off. It's amazing, and I love it. But my favorite thing I remember being a camp counselor there was one day I was monitoring the kids, keeping an eye on all of them, and then a family comes in, and the daughter super small. I don't know how old they were, but they're very, very young. The daughter was dressed up as a Dalek, and the son was Matt Smith. And I just melted. I'm like, oh my god, you are so adorable. And the parents were also dressed up, and I'm like, oh my god. The other awesome thing about the Franklin Institute, there are in the heart exhibit, there are consoles that like show you, facts about the heart, how like, here's the heart of a squirrel and how fast it beats, and here's the heart of a whale and how slow it beats. And you'll notice if you're a fan of Doctor Who, they are all inspired by TARDIS consoles. They all look the same, but it's a round console, cylindrical acrylic tube with all these facts. It is 100% a TARDIS inspired console. My other fun fact about the Franklin Institute is that there is a Dalek in the basement. You'll never see it unless you're staffed, but it is just in the basement. It's a wooden Dalek.
Just chilling.
I love it. Nerds are awesome.
That's cool. Yes, they are. 3, 12, and 3, 8. Paper.
Naming the room with the Tesla coil Edison is something. It's something else. It is like it is not picking sides of that, but it does teach you
I was
about
gonna say
the
that's a shot to Edison. Edison and Tesla did not get along.
That's the fun part about Philadelphia. Philadelphia is like one of the battlegrounds for Edison and Tesla. If you ever explore Philadelphia, you'll notice there's a crap ton of power plants, and you'll notice they're all Edison power plants. They're all DC plants back when the city was running off DC. And they're all shut down now because there's like one that does it all now. But it's so cool to see. I just realized I've been sitting here just yapping. What step are you on?
I have just finished putting the idlers on.
Okay. I was ahead of you.
And I managed somehow to like strip the head of one of these.
Oh no. Don't do that. That's bad.
Something just wasn't aligned right, and I don't know, you might have to. It might not even matter. It's most of the way in, but it's bugging me, and I would like it to not be that way. I'm wondering if I can.
That looks rather fat. What? Oh. How about you just don't look at it, Robert? Anyway, I forgot to I asked a question to Steven and then I didn't actually like read his answer because we got into like the whole like how long has the show been going for? Okay. Yeah, so you have it all. Yeah. I am the same way. Steven, look up the Garo Studios, Margarita Life, and there's another one I'm forgetting the name of, but look up those two YouTube channels. They make compilation videos, but they do it in a way that's like a story, and I revisit them all the time because they are so well edited and so well like strung together that it like tells its own mini episode of Doctor Who, and I love it.
Query. On the left side panel that I put on so long ago, I was supposed to trap another one of those M6 nuts, wasn't I?
No, not on the left side, just the right side. I forgot to remind you about the right side.
Oh, it's just the right side? Okay, good.
Sorry,
Because it had the space for it, but I don't remember being told to do that. So
every single the left side actually does not have a space for the M6. The right side does.
Oh, it doesn't?
Okay,
maybe
every single time I build this, I forget about that nut. Every single time. Without fail, I forget it.
Okay. Then I don't feel so bad. I thought I might have missed a step, but I did not. Okay. We are moving on to installing the front bumper.
Yep.
Which I have here. And now How the heck am I supposed to plug in the front bumper when I already put the cover panel on?
It goes above.
Or oh, go wait, what?
Yeah, it goes above. See? Hold on, let me screw mine in and then I'll hold it up. It goes right there.
Yeah, hold on, I gotta move this. I can't. See
Yeah,
the
let me
screen.
screw mine in and then I'll hold it up so you can get a better view.
Wait, does the front bumper, doesn't it have the LEDs screwed to it?
No, okay,
Or
the front.
am I grabbing the wrong part?
Oh wait, no, sorry. Yes, the front bumper is the one with the LEDs on it. My bad. There's also the bumper plate, which is the one with the logo on it.
Again, there's the wires for the LEDs that are on the front bumper.
Yeah, that just stuffs under the rail.
Right, but I can't plug it in. I have to take the panel off to plug it in again. Don't
Oh,
I?
you didn't plug in the. Uh-oh.
When did it tell me to plug in the bumper?
A while ago.
I mean, I can take the panel off. It's not that big of a deal, except for this one screw here that seems to be stuck. But maybe I can just rotate it for right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I can slide it to the side of the rail, but then, geez, and I hope it fits. Hold on, 'cause the fitment was really tight right here too. So this is what's going to light up the track
Yes.
lady. So did one of the steps tell me to plug in that LED and we just missed
Yep.
it or something?
There was a step where we plugged in all the electronics, and the idea was that a lot of it you didn't unplug.
A lot of it I didn't do what now?
A lot of it you weren't entirely meant to unplug. Yeah. It may have been one of those points where I kind of wasn't paying attention, and we were just talking.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm sure I just cruised past it. I just wanted to,
Yeah.
because like what else did I not plug in? I guess is what I'm wondering now.
You should have plugged in your Z drive, your left fan, right fan, obviously the AB motors, and obviously everything that we have currently hanging out of the back of the printer.
Okay, so I've got the end stop, the extruder. Yeah, the Z is belted, so that's here. So what about my?
Here,
What about all the electronics that
zoom
plug
in on
here?
your PCB, and I can tell you what's missing.
Hold on, let's.
Okay, so you got your
Okay,
fans plugged in.
I've got my left and right fan.
Okay, to the left
Is
of that,
this third one unused? The
yes, third
fan
one
is
is unused.
currently.
Correct.
Okay, so I don't have any end stops for X, Y. I don't have my extruder.
Well,
or
extruder,
the
you,
Z.
you're gonna want to put in, actually plug in the extruder.
So that I got the pancake for that.
Yep.
Right.
You might be able to just tuck that into the arch. You may not have to remove the arch. That might just be small enough to slide in.
Okay, I can fish it. Wait, when did I miss all this? That's what I.
There was a step, I think a
Right.
stream ago, where it was just like plug everything in.
Okay, I must have just not done that then. Okay, so let's do. Okay, so I've got my pancake, or sorry, my extruder.
Yeah, that's
Step
gonna be
or-
a little tricky to get screwed in. Let me open up mine so I can reference.
And then what other wiring here for the hot end?
Don't worry, Tech Cheaper. We already moved the jumper. I think we did that in like the first stream.
We definitely did the jumper. I remember that.
Yeah.
Okay, now where is this guy plugged?
Okay, the extruder, one second, it goes towards the end area. I'm removing my plate right now so I can remind myself.
think it's under the. I think I might have to take the mid panel off.
I'm hoping not, but you may be able to kind of wiggle it in there. Let's see. Yeah, go back to your corner, Jeeper. Okay. Yeah, the extruder is right underneath that. You're gonna want to take that off.
Working on it. One size screw there.
Yeah, my jumper's moved, so his definitely is as well.
Okay. All right, it's right.
Yeah, it's right there.
Right next to the. What is that?
The Z motor.
So I've got the. Yeah. It's... Okay. All right. Got it. Wait. I think I got it. Do I got it? I've got it. Is that not the right? Oh, that's a 3-pin. Hold on, that's not. Oh, it's right here.
Yeah. Sorry.
It's right at the top. All right. That's fine.
I think we're gonna be pushing plastic next stream.
I sure hope so, because I don't have. I have
I-
a lot more time to be doing. Like,
Neither
5
do
more
I.
streams.
We have like less than 3 weeks until Smurf.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, we're on time crunch. Come on, hurry up,
I mean,
Pooch.
I can also do.
Come on.
We don't have to do. Okay.
No, this is fun.
Well, I'm
this
not
is
the
fun.
one talking about everything and anything under the sun. Okay.
I am very chatty. A few friends of mine were all like, we should do a podcast because we're all IT guys. And I'm like, oh god. It would probably be good because I have disagreements with one member of that friend group. And that's good. It's healthy to have disagreements. I'm like, oh man, this would be an interesting podcast because it would just be a train of nonstop talking. Would we stay on topic is the question. All right.
That's always
So you
the
have
challenge with podcasts.
just gonna run over everything real quick. You have your bed cable plugged in. You have your I'm starting from top bottom. Bed cable plugged in. Extruder plugged in. Z plugged in. Power. You had to have plugged in your power.
Yeah, I did the barrel jack.
Cool. And then you
Install
have your AB
power,
motors, your Z end stop, and fan 1, fan 2.
No,
And the LED cluster.
I tried to. Oh man.
Yeah, that LED cluster is under there.
So
It looks like it's plugged in.
take this. No, it's this bumper. I mean, this all came about because I was trying to fish this bumper LED, and I don't manage to get itself stuck somewhere in the nether regions of this, and
You're probably going to replace that one stripped screw there because I can see it's definitely
That's what I'm
causing
do-
you
that's what I'm doing.
some grief.
it is absolutely causing me grief.
All right, Mama Nomad is going with the X-Tool P2 55-watt CO2. Thanks for your help, everyone.
Okay,
Happy to be of assistance.
good choice, Mama Nomad.
Good choice.
Happy lazing. Okay.
She actually is working on some like cool stuff. Like one thing she's doing is she's engraving into cutting boards like team logos like Phillies, Flyers, Eagles. And then she's using colored resin to then inlay into them. So it's like, you know, the team logo. It's really cool. If I had my own house, I would absolutely want a Flyers one. But I live with them, so I just steal whatever they have.
2 steps forward, 1 step back. Now, oh, well, that's definitely not where it goes. Get out of there.
My mom was is the inspiration for me being as crafty as I am. She's always been the crafty one. My dad was the handy one. So my dad's like the one that taught me how to wire up an entire house, like replace all my outlets, all my switches, you know, even wire up a 3-way gang box with, you know, 2-pole switching. So my dad taught me all the electrical stuff I know and all like the actual construction that I know. My mom taught me all the crafty parts, and those mixed together and became 3D printing.
There you go.
All right, I see you're putting things. Wait, no, you're unscrewing.
Yep. Trying to move some stuff around so I can figure out how to route this bumper cable. And that's not helping, is it? Okay, how do I get under there? Do I? Okay, first of all, where's this bumper LED cable going?
It goes
maybe right here,
right next to one of the AV motor plugs. I believe it's a three plug.
Yeah, I see it. I just need to. Like, I feel like this should have gotten plugged in like before we put the spacer for the.
Yeah, it
the
was
rail.
supposed to be plugged in at that point.
Okay.
I mean, again, we are early enough that you could just take off that Z-axis and get right under there, or not Z-axis, Y-axis. Do I even know the axis of my own printer?
The axis of evil.
That's actually one of the jokes we were talking
evil,
about on Monday. We were talking, me and chat were talking about how, you know, man, it would really stink if someone took some of the jokes that I made between my friends out of context. So I'm a second generation Italian American. I am roughly 75% Italian, 25% German, roughly. My parents did genetic testing, got the more specific answers, but that's how I grew up. My friend at work is Japanese, and my friend, this is his joke, not mine. My friend, sometimes we jokingly threaten. We have another coworker that sits in the cube row with us, and we're all, you know, white collar workers. We dish things out all the time and we joke all the time. So my the guy sits next to me, he sometimes go, careful, Dave. Say stuff like that, we may just form the axis over here. And I'm like, no, don't say that.
He calls you Dave?
No. Talk about the third person in the group, Dave.
Oh, okay.
It's like, yeah, careful, we might form the axis over here. I'm like, I have several questions. Because for those that need to spell out,
the axis.
he's Japanese, I'm Italian and German. The joke's right there.
Oh, come on. It's so close. Just get into there.
You got this. You got this. Come on, chat. Let's cheer on Pooch. You got this. You got this. You got this.
I don't want to have to fish anymore or run this disassemble anymore. No disassemble.
You really shouldn't have to go any further. That front spacer should just kind of pop right out.
It doesn't, because it's binding on the mid plate of the right side, which I don't want to have to like undo all of that. So that's why I'm trying to see if I can.
Oh, right. The mid plate. No, it's not binding on the mid plate. The mid plate helps hold it down.
Hold on. Come on.
You should have just enough space to fish that through.
It's kind of going, but it's catching on one of the
other cables, likely.
separate...
I'm trying to think of a way, like, without having you take off that middle panel.
I pull this motor. It's just stuck.
Okay, I think to protect yourself from breaking things, I think it would be best to just remove that left panel and then remove that middle left panel. I hate to recommend it. Oh, you got it?
You got it.
Yeah! I definitely
went
didn't
through.
give up
Okay.
hope. No. Not me.
Okay, all right. Now, let's see. Back order of operations. We're gonna go. Let's see. I think if I do this.
Dark third dimension. I kind of wish you were around when I built my very first positron. And the reason I say that, because that is when you're dealing with parts that are tight and very small tolerances. That is actually good advice. I saw Modbot when he was putting on his rear idler block. He used a little bit of oil to get his printed part on. And when I ran into the same problem when I first, built my positron, because we didn't have guides, we didn't have steps, and I didn't really know much about printing in ABS ASA to not pre-scale my parts. I used a hammer because I couldn't get it on. I wish I knew about the grease idea. Oh, I know it was a dirty joke. I'm just saying my opinion. I tried live streaming back when I first started Positron. No one watched. No one knew who I was. It wasn't until I put the mask on did they know who I was.
There we go. That's in. That's in. And back we go. Okay, so now these can. Oh, come on! Don't do this to me. It's so tight.
I mean, chat, he is getting a fairly realistic printer building experience. This is a great time for us to all say RTFM, but I've also been here the whole time, and I definitely have failed him at some point.
Yeah, I missed that one somewhere. Well, and okay, so this isn't an RTFM thing. This is the where my swollen parts is probably coming to bite me. Maybe if I loosen these screws underneath, I can wedge it in there. We'll see. Let me try to I'm gonna cross that bridge in a second. I'm gonna try to put this back on here. Pitch right back up to where we were. Okay, route that way.
Seba says, if you don't screw it up, you're not building it right. Yeah, that's fair.
I guess it's a rite of passage, huh?
Yeah, at least to some degree.
Okay. All right. Okay, this is the bigger back here. Here's the back one.
So, if you guys want to know, the oil/grease that we recommend if you want to go fast with this printer is Superlube synthetic oil. This stuff. It's the very drippy and liquid kind. It's not grease. It's oil.
It's Valvoline 15W30.
That is what Joe uses to really make his printer just go.
Makes Joe go. Got it.
What I do is I will add normal grease as just hey, get things to a minimum lubrication, and then I add a little bit of the oil to just dilute that a tiny bit, and that typically gets a good mixture at some point. Is that what you should do? Probably not. If I told Steve that, he might cringe.
Doesn't take much to make Steve cringe, though.
Yeah,
For the
he
record.
cringed a few times building his positron, and I'm just like, eh. Like, I mean, you mentioned it, like how tight the tolerances are on
It's
this
tight, dude.
Y rail.
Really,
Like, yeah, no,
really snug.
we in order to make this kit work, if we tried designing this printer 5 years ago with the accuracy printers had 5 years ago, no, we would not be able to do printed parts at all, because this requires really, really precise prints. Like the Positron rail, which is something that we've been experimenting with, is a great example of something that would not be possible 5 years ago with the accuracy of printers we had. We are now very reliably able to print structures that are smaller than 2 millimeters, like freestanding structures smaller than 2 millimeters, which is impressive with the 0.4 nozzle. And we are able to reliably do that across most 3D printers that are currently available on the market. 5 years ago, probably not. 5 years ago, it probably was closer to under 0.4 millimeters with a 0.4 nozzle.
I think, yeah, I got it. Okay, sort of.
Awesome, we did it. So yeah, if we tried making a positron 5 years ago, the tolerances would have been too tight. We would not have been able to do printed parts for most of this. But because tolerances have increased significantly, we were able to.
Actually, what's the size of the screw I need to hold that bumper in? That is a
It's
M3 by 8 button.
Yes.
M3 by 8 button. M3.
Steve cringed so hard he had to make a jig to teach Grant how to route belts. You know what's funny? You know, I have a stream of me building my 2.4. I don't know if the VODs are still up, but I have a stream of me building my 2.4. I figured it out so easily.
All right, I've decided next time I'm going to just pull a Sam Prentice on you and just have you make it for me.
Okay. That's fine.
The Andrew method, just put somebody else to work. Well, had I known it was an option. There we go. Okay, bumper is on. I'm gonna figure out how to reattach the corners of these side panels later. I think they may just sit out like that for the time being.
Yeah, I know mine are bowing a bit because they are. I think they are a little. Mine might be a tad bit too long, somehow, but it's fine.
There just needs to be some notching or something in these corner pieces, so because this LED that's on the end of the bumper that lights up these rails here is pressing these out. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to. What's fastening on top here? I think we just have some more.
It is the front bumper plate. It's the little plate that has the LDO or Positron logo. Jesus, just went through like every single brand.
Well, I'm not. That's future Pooch problems. Right now, we're gonna get. Okay, so before I cover this back up again.
Yes.
Do I have everything plugged in that I need to have plugged in? Isn't there? So I've got the stepper.
Yep.
What else for the Z-axis here needs to
Okay,
get
so
plugged into
the
the
Z-axis,
main board?
it's just the end stop, the stepper, and the bed cable. That's it. So that's the three things that should be going through that little arch.
Okay, so I need to plug my bed cable back in because I had to unplug it to get the stepper back in there, but that's not a problem. We're gonna do that right now.
Yeah, thankfully belt routing is
So what
fairly easy.
what plugs into this little connector here on the front? There's a connector.
Oh yeah, that's
so
the other side of the
end.
Yeah.
That.
But that we do that last.
But then there's like. Then there's another connector on the front here. What's that for?
That's the bed.
This guy.
The bed just slides in.
Oh, that's the bed. That's the bed. That's the bed.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got bed power coming in here. Then that connects to the bed.
Yep.
Okay, that makes sense. I got it. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So I'm gonna cover this back up again. Then I think we have everything. We don't have any other end stops, right?
No. Everything else is sensorless.
Is it sensorless? It's
Yes.
sensorless for X and Y.
Yep.
Okay. And let's see. Okay, that's the right orientation there. And then we put that on there. And then we go back and we put. Wait, did I lose? Let's see. Oh. At some point my M6 came out, so I caught that. That's gone back in.
Yep.
Okay. All right. All right. Crisis averted. What that says back like a half hour. Oh well.
All good.
All in the name of LEDs.
At least it's content. And you know, my favorite part about this is that I'm now realizing a lot of people actually watch my VODs, which I am flabbergasted that people do. In my mind, I put out a video, I put out a stream, and then I don't think people rewatch it. But apparently people do. And thank you for those that do. I'm starting to refer back to these streams to help people who run into problems. So like if anyone else has that, I can easily refer them back to this. And that's super useful. Like someone just responded to me to a message I sent them like 2 weeks ago to one of our streams that we did, you and I. And they're like, oh, you linked back to like the exact point at which you guys ran into that problem. I'm like, yeah. Because once you build enough positrons on stream, you're probably going to run into every other problem that people have had at some point. So,
Sure.
thank you for the additional content.
Yeah, that's what I'm here for. That's what I'm here for. I think, maybe.
We'll find out.
That and the.
And whenever you send me the rep box, I'll make sure to build it as incorrectly as possible, and then you can use
gonna
me
happen, man.
as a reference.
It's gonna happen. Gotta laser cut it. I gotta do your positron sides, which I keep putting off.
Nah, take your time, man.
It's not for lack of desire. It's because I am not in the shop nearly as often as I once was these days.
Yeah.
Because I'm always traveling around to go see everybody.
Right.
Right. Okay, let's put this rail back in. Come on. First of all, let's just dump a bunch of shims all over everything. That'll be helpful. Oy.
Ladies and gentlemen, Callie has decided to bless us with a visit. She's currently eating her food.
Callie?
Yep, my cat.
How are you, Callie?
Callie, Pooch wants to know how you are.
Callie cat?
She's eating. She doesn't care currently.
Not to be bothered?
Correct. Not to be bothered.
Sounds very cat-like.
I've mentioned it before. Callie is the chattiest cat ever known to man.
Oh yeah?
She doesn't shut up, man.
Cat, chatty cat.
I love her to death. She doesn't shut up.
I was gonna say, but there's a button there.
Like in the morning when I'm waking up, she's just nonstop. And I'm like, Callie, it's a Saturday.
That's enough.
Please.
That's enough of that.
Let
Callie.
me sleep. Oh, wait. Callie. 1 second. Callie.
She heard you talking trash.
Hey, Callie. I'm not sure if my microphone picked that up. Maybe. Oh, I need to turn off my noise suppression. 1 second. Properties. No. Wait, are you guys able to hear her, or is she? I don't know.
I
Okay.
don't hear anything,
Callie.
but I don't know if that means anything.
There we go.
I heard that.
Callie. Callie. What's your favorite cat food, Callie? Callie? Yeah? What's your opinion on the current geopolitical cat food crisis? Yeah, okay. And how do you think that's going to help? Callie? No opinion?
No comment.
Okay. Thank you,
That was,
Representative
that was
Callie.
enthralling, man. You've got a future interviewing animals.
That is
That does
just
not.
that is just a hint of how chatty she can be. Like,
Verbosity.
yeah, no, she will straight up respond to everything that is said to her, and it's a learned behavior from my grandma. When my grandma was still around, my grandma would just talk to her, and Callie would just respond, and that would go on for hours. So, that's a little gift from my grandma that I can cherish. Oh, lost another watcher. Nice. Yeah, Callie refuses to elaborate, leaves. Yeah, pretty much. The joke used to be, Callie, what's your current opinion on geopolitical climate? But that's not a question I want to ask her right now. Don't need my cat getting me canceled on YouTube.
This pulley just doesn't seem to spin well. I'm gonna take it off and swap it with a different one. I don't know what's going on there.
Interesting. When she starts
I don't like
going,
it.
Long John, what? What?
Okay.
Welcome back, friends. We're almost done the base assembly. Like, we're actually almost done.
Okay.
We're gonna finish this, and I think that'll be it for the stream today.
Okay. All right, that's done.
All right.
Let me find some 8s or something for that, but okay. Oh, my knees.
Why are you on your knees? Like, you have a standing desk.
It doesn't come. This is not a standing desk.
Oh, it's not. Have you been all these streams? Have you been on your knees?
No, I've just been standing up and doing it, but I
Oh.
was trying to get down close and see it, and just felt more comfortable on my knees today.
Fair enough.
Here we go. I'm standing here. It's just a table.
Well,
My other workbench is like this height. I just using the kitchen table today.
fair.
All right.
All right. So next, I think it's install the Y-axis bumper plate.
Axis bumper plates. Seeing a few screws here. I don't know if this is going to prove to be a problem or not.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank our stream sponsors, KB3D and LDO. They don't directly sponsor us, but they obviously help us greatly with what we do. LDO does sponsor filming giveaways that we do on Fridays. Please be sure to tune in on Fridays to get your chance to win some fancy LDO ABS filament, random colors. But if you are in the US, you get a chance to win that. It's really fun. And thank you to KB3D for us being an affiliate. If you need anything for any of your 3D printers, KB3D pretty much has every part you need and sub-assembly that you might need. So if you absolutely need anything for your Voron, for your Positron, for your rat rig, a salad, like they have everything. KB3D is there for you.
Not at all.
Yeah, Chris is awesome. They flew us out to their open house, and that was just wonderful. Got to meet a bunch of you guys. Oh, it felt like a mini rep festival with 2 booths.
That's fun.
Yeah, it felt like a rep festival if it was just KB3D and Positron. It was great.
Y-axis bumper plate.
There we go. Now
CNC.
he's about to be caught up. Yeah, no, it was really fun. It felt like a mini rep festival, and he realized that I was kind of like stuck at like where we had all the Positron set up because I was working on all the Positrons, and Chris was really apologetic about it. I'm like, dude, I was so happy doing that. I was in my element. Like that was my thing.
You're in the zone.
It was awesome. And obviously it met Cheaper, met so many people. Rittenhouse's daughter was hilarious. Oh, you don't know this story. Okay. We need to tell the story to Pooch here.
Okay.
So I was the announcer for the giveaway. And we gave away a bunch of things like LDO orbital extruders, a Voron, a Positron, etc. We gave away a good number of things. Did we give away Positron? I think we did. No, wait. I don't remember. But the last item was an Ender belt that Digital Dragon had built. And I'm sitting there. There's only 100 people there, so like the chances of winning something are like actually decent. And I'm sitting there like, oh man,
Okay.
I really hope I don't win this because I have no way to bring this back home. Because it's not a flat pack; it is a full-on built printer. So I start reading the numbers, and then this little girl like puts her hands up, and she walks up, and we're all clapping, congratulating her. She's like looking at the table, trying to see what it is she won, and then I gesture to the Ender belt, which is the last item on the table, and she looks at that, turns around to Rittenhouse, and goes, "I thought you said that's stupid," and then the entire warehouse just burst out laughing.
That it's stupid?
No, because of what she said.
Oh.
Because she was insinuating that her dad said it was stupid, and
That's funny.
she was very excited for it. She was very excited for it. Rittenhouse was excited for it. Yeah, your daughter, she knows how to roast you. That was good. If that was absolutely intentional, that was good. You've taught her well.
Okay, 1, 2, 5, 10s. Bingo, bango.
It's just everyone was like, "No, she didn't."
That's funny.
So good. All right, let me continue on the build myself here.
Yeah, you already got this bumper plate on?
Yeah, I already got the bumper plate on, so I'm moving on to my Z joint block. So I need M3 by 25 SHCS. Let's grab BHCS. Where's SHCS? Oh, is this one of those ones I have not put away? Here's, yeah, this one. This will work.
Okay. Joint base block under there. Position is even. We need a M325 socket head. The M3 joint base block is CNC'd. It's probably buried. Yep, there it is. Lots of fun little CNC parts there. Yeet. Ooh, it's thick. And M325. 25. You know what movie I finally saw last night for the first time? Django Unchained.
Really? You only
Been
just
meaning
saw
to
it?
watch that.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
so good.
I only just saw it. I've always loved Tarantino, and I just hadn't had the opportunity, and it did not disappoint.
Django
It
is
was
definitely
very Tarantino.
the one Tarantino movie I need to see is the one that I have yet to see is
What's that?
Kill Bill.
Oh, you haven't seen the Kill Bill?
No, I have
Either
not seen Kill Bill.
Okay. Yeah,
I
you
need to
should
see it.
Kill Bills.
But that's the one I have not seen. Was Shawshank? I don't think. Wait, Shawshank Redemption?
No, Shawshank is that is not Tarantino. No.
Okay,
That is my favorite movie of all time,
I need to watch it.
and it's a Frank Darabont is the director.
I need to watch that one. I have not seen Shawshank.
This is not fitting again.
Uh-oh.
So this Z block, is it supposed to slide under?
Yes.
How far? I feel like I'm colliding with something.
Oh, it's supposed to go up against the. It is supposed to go up against the rail.
Oh, hold on. Okay, no, it was just a little snug. There we go. No, that's fine.
Yep.
Guys, don't worry, it's fine. Everybody, calm down.
What did Bill do to deserve that? Poor Bill. I think some pretty screwed up stuff in the movie, if I understand
Bill
correctly.
deserved to die.
Yeah, Bill deserved to die. A very bloody movie. Very gratuitous.
But it's you have to, yeah.
I love it. It's great.
You know, you just have to appreciate Tarantino for what it is. Like, I don't even know how to describe it. Like, it's completely over the top, and he knows it is. I don't know. It is gratuitous, I guess, but what isn't these days?
Right. It was definitely one of those like earlier films where they just were like, let's just make as much fake blood as possible and make it really juicy, I guess would be the term.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
All I know is that
describe it. I mean,
I definitely need to watch it. I know it's great, and I'm excited for when I do get to watch it.
yeah, Uma Thurman's really good in it, so I mean, I thought.
Oh yeah.
Okay, this feels like it's binding up inside this little hex. I wonder if I got some like plastic or something in there. Something's not threading in the way. Yeah. See, it looked like it was trying to cut some thread there.
Yeah, you're supposed to leave about 4 mil of distance. You'll get that figured out.
Right, but I just wanted to make sure it didn't feel like it was
yeah.
threading well into the hex nut. It's
M4x8.
There we go. Come on.
10x10.
That feels more snug than it should. Like,
It's
this
it's
little...
meant to be pretty snug.
Okay.
Uh-oh. Wait. What?
See, I feel like it's cutting.
Oh,
I'm getting like metal
M4x6.
particulate as I pull this out.
So you aren't supposed to screw it in all the way when you do screw that into the block. I mean, on the bottom.
Yeah, I
yes.
understand I understand it's a tensioner.
Okay.
I just
Yeah, Callie's talking again. Yes, Callie, I'm hearing all your newfound opinions on everything.
Stop interrupting, Callie. Okay, there we go. Come on.
I feel like the feet
Okay.
are like the one part of this build we really don't need the bears of, but we do.
All right. That's working as desired. Definitely doesn't slide. It will do its job to tension, so
Yep.
that's fine. Okay. And we'll work on tensioning it later. Okay. Next step has rubber feet.
Yep.
Oh goody. Now this is where I'm gonna get a little creative with my install.
Yeah, so the points that you would install the rubber feet on this are where you would use this to mount this to something else.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So for now, we'll put the rubber feet on there. And I will think about my future mounting plans. Okay.
Yeah, we decided to go with
So-
M4s on this specifically because we figured some people would want to mount this. And thankfully, the Positron overall is actually not that heavy of a printer. So 4 M4s felt right.
4, 8, 5. I'm sure that's fine. And then the feet are rubber feet. Let's see. They're in a baggie somewhere.
Yeah, the
Here we go.
washers and the feet are in the same bag. So you just the only other thing you have to
Negative,
find.
Ghost Rider.
What? Mine were.
Washers are not in the same bag for me.
Huh.
I've got just washers in a bag. So we need to find. I'm sorry, just feet in a bag.
Weird.
We need to
Yeah, mine
find
were in the exact same bag.
Well, maybe they're switching it up, or I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe I have a
Jason's
newer
just
or
messing
older.
with
Oh.
us.
Just
I-
when you thought
the-
you had it figured out.
The fact that Jason messed with my rook, I would not be surprised.
M4 8 right. Washers and M4 6 button head screws. M4 10, M4 8, M4 6. I
So-
have one M4 6.
For those who don't know, Jason or someone on the LDO team, in collaboration with the Rook guys, messed with my rook slightly, and in one of the funniest ways possible. What they did was, because the Rook and the Positron use the exact same power supply, they decided to just put a Positron power supply in my Rook kit, which definitely threw me for a loop. And I was very confused for a period of time. And then I talked to the Rook guys, and they're like, yeah, we told them to do that. I was like, oh, you guys.
M4 6 button head. So I have unless there's more than one bag, I have
There's
one
there-
bag that just says one piece.
there-
M4 6.
There's more than one bag.
Okay. M4 8.
Yeah, there's a bag of
go.
M46 BHCS with 6
I have
pieces.
2 bags of M4 6. It must have been like a late ad or something. I'm consolidating. Then I guess I need some washers somewhere. Unless it doesn't need. Oh, there they are. M4. I found them.
Yep.
Gotta get the fancier over molded feet with the washers already installed in them. Just throw those anywhere. There we go. Okay.
Should
Let's
we?
screw some feet on?
You know, I think we should. I think we will.
When in doubt, do.
Okay, so we're gonna dip our toes a little bit into the next assembly, just to get some of these loose items off the table.
Okay.
We're not gonna dive too deep, because once you put the feet on, you're done with this part of the assembly.
Heater going on now. Stand by. 1 foot. Could have been printed, but doesn't. But it's nice that they're rubber. Put a little more shock
right.
absorption that way.
I need to redo that. I just forgot about that entirely.
2 feet. All right, 3 feet. And a 4th foot. Okay, feet are on.
I need to fix something real quick before I can proceed with what I was about to.
Complete. Are you not entertained?
Are you not entertained?
Feetsies. Little feetsies. Okay. We're just breaking that. Clean some stuff up here. Don't need those anymore. The little bitties out of the way. All right, you said you wanted to get a couple more things knocked out?
Yes, just one more thing. We're going to go into the next step, and we're going to skip the heat set inserts for now. We're just going to attach the Z-axis to the base, because that just saves a little bit more space, because the Z-axis takes a decent amount of space up on the table.
Sounds good to me. Okay.
I am just currently ensuring that my Z-axis is actually aligned, because I forgot I did not do that, because I did not have my alignment tool printed.
Oh, do I need a special alignment tool? I can't just screw it on here right now?
No, you follow the instructions. I had to realign my entire rail, because when we put the rail onto the Z-axis, I didn't have my alignment tool.
Right, I'll follow and see. Install the Z column to Z joint using the thumb screw. That's easy enough.
Why is mine not threading? Uh-oh.
Done. Okay. Now the right Z joint blade.
You probably gonna get this done before me, because mine, for whatever reason, it's not threading.
Not seated flat. That's good. And then we're gonna do what?
Huh.
We're gonna secure that joint. Did we do that already? Oh, we did one side. We gotta do the other side. Okay.
Yep.
M35 dowel pin is pre-assembled when you receive the right Z-joint plate.
Yeah, Joe, I'm running into an issue that I have on my Hexatron where my Z-axis screw's not going in. I may need Zach to rush ship me a replacement here.
M4 hex notes. M4. What's M4? It's for M. There we go. 2 of those.
Got it, but I'm not happy with it.
M410 button head. M410 button head. That. 7. Okay. Gonna be witching hour. Z-joint plate, right, with indexing pin. Okay. Yeah. Go bango. Have to loosen that.
Ooh. Okay. I see the problem. I see my problem.
What's the problem?
My Z column is slightly too high. Or my rail is slightly too high. Just slightly.
That other hex not aligned. Went to an Avs game when I was in Denver.
Oh?
Pretty fun. Yep, they were playing the Kraken. They won.
Hell yeah.
Fun experience. I had no dog in the fight, so it was just fun to go watch some hockey.
Honestly,
Game.
that sounds like a great time. I mean, I can't go to Pittsburgh and do
Yeah,
that
it
because fuck the Penguins, but sounds like something I should do sometime. If I'm ever in another city, just
No, I mean, I
go
always
to a
like
hockey
to see
game.
the experience in different arenas and stuff, and they all have
Oh,
like,
yeah.
different like celebration songs.
I
and scores and...
love the Philadelphia arena, but you know, I'm super biased.
Hey.
Oh, there we go. I fixed it. I fixed it, Joe. I fixed it.
Okay, Z's up. Z is up. It says we're gonna put the motor on now.
Yeah, we don't have to do that. Getting
Okay.
the Z on was like the important part of that.
I mean, we're there. Look at that, guys. It's looking like
Yeah,
it look like something.
I gotta get my plate on because you beat me to that. So I had to
Does
fix
that.
a alignment
This
issue.
does this. This whole thing does this and like that, and there's a spring in there.
You are
that thing.
now the primary view.
Just appreciating some of the design when we start routing some belts and stuff, so that I'll come and you get a nice little tensioner dealy there. And...
Yeah, the belt routing at first is going to be a little confusing, but everyone that has done it has told me like, yeah, it's confusing at first, but then it just clicks.
then you get it.
Yeah, like once
When
you
you get it, you
understand that
get
it folds in one spot, it's just like, oh yeah, that makes sense. And because it's just one belt, people actually have had fairly easy experience routing it, which is really nice. Like, is it easy?
Just
No,
putting my-
but in comparison,
well, you know,
to say-
easy's always relative.
yeah. But in comparison to like routing the XY belts on a Voron, the smallest part
Is
you're
it
dealing with.
easy compared to doing your own dentistry? Yeah, it's easy
Yeah,
compared to that.
yeah.
You know.
Definitely easier than cutting your own hair. Well,
Depends what hair we're talking about, and you know, but yeah, sure.
and specifically one on the top of your head.
Well, the top of the head's not as bad. The back of the head, you know, that's where it's
Yeah,
starts to get tricky.
that's the tricky
But,
part. I need a series of mirrors to get that one
so-
done. Unless my hair continues to recede, and then I won't need the series of mirrors.
a pancake. Wait, there's a little housing. There we go. Planetary gearbox cover. Stop. Not reading the manual, Pooch. That goes there. Then we got the
Oh,
housing
no,
cover.
Pooch, you can slow down. You're ahead of me now, and this is gonna be it. Like,
well, I was taking the opportunity because you always get ahead of me anyway.
you know what? That's
and
fair.
I was,
That's fair.
You know,
that's fair.
wanting to
what am
clear
I
out
to
some more baggies.
what am I to say that you should stop? Just finish the printer.
Nah, I'm not ready to finish it. I just wanted to see how far. This seemed like it was easy enough to do.
We're gonna start
And then
next
I don't
stream.
have
My
as
printer's
much
gonna be
damage,
done,
as
and be
many-
like, what? I only got a little bit further ahead.
This way I don't have all these extra dangly parts, you know? I got
Yeah.
my motor on there, and that's... And then we're just gonna put some M320s to hold that on there. And then that might be a good stopping point. M320... button here? Yeah,
Nice Z column done. I had to order another toolhead PCB. Might have had an oopsie. Also order some extra.
Oopsie.
Joe, you're part of the team. You don't have to order spare parts. Just ask. I do say I appreciate a lot of my team members. They don't assume that they can just get free replacement parts, which is like, it's nice because, you know, they're not entitled or anything. But it is like, guys, I appreciate you putting your own money into this, but like we have people that help us with this.
Right.
I find that
all right.
I find that quite
In
funny.
the words of the great Matthew McConaughey. All right.
All right, gonna learn today.
Much cooler if you did. There we go.
Watch, I'm sitting here and Joe just, you know, bought himself another kit. Like MSRP and everything.
Plug this in right here if I can. Just plugging that in right there because I did and I will. I like the combo, the combo plug that you got set up here.
Yeah, the XT30 is pretty nice. We use the same for the toolhead, and we're working on an improvement for the toolhead. I think for the next batch, we're actually gonna have a stiffer cable, because one problem that you may run into, you might not run into if you print upside, right side, whatever. The direction you are printing, it probably won't be a problem. But sometimes people get the cable of the toolhead does get caught on the XY axis. And we have developed a cable chain mod for that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you may not have to deal with that.
You know what? This may well be. Let me think. This is the first belted Z printer I've ever had.
Really?
Yeah. I don't have any of the belted Z. What is it? Switch wire that does a belted Z?
Yes, I think.
I don't have that. I only have the one. I have the Trident that Steve and I build. That's the only Voron I have. Yeah, no, everything else is a lead screw style.
Interesting.
Just an observation. Not...
Well,
okay. Well,
I think you'll be very happy with a belted Z. One of the nice things about belted Z is that it is, especially with the way we currently have it, you have slightly finer rotation control. So you can, like, Joe has made minifigs on his Positron that look beautiful, like insane.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. You can gear it down. Is it a 0.9 degree stepper or is it a 1.8?
I don't know off the top of my head.
It probably doesn't even matter with micro.
It's the same as the it's 1.8.
Not dealing with, and then but what about backlash and stuff? I guess if for something this small, it probably, and not very massive as well.
Yeah, the extruder motor
it's got the whole
is actually the exact same for the. It's the same motor that we use for the Z. It's just just braided. That's it. Same exact motor.
It is the same exact motor, so it is a 1.8 36 millimeter pancake stepper. Yeah, cool. Okay, well, what should we call it a night here? Or what do you think?
I think this is a good stopping point. Just
I'm happy.
moving
So
up my
can
rails
we
a
be
bit.
pushing plastic next time?
Yeah, we should. Yeah, the next stream we're gonna be actually doing the XY, or literally the only thing that's left is the toolhead.
Want me to do any homework in preparation, or are we gonna be able to do it all on stream? You think?
There, if you want, you can read ahead and do all the heat set inserts. If you want.
I might do that.
I
might do that.
I won't, I could say that I will, and I will forget, and I won't.
Yeah, that's fine.
But yeah, that's kind of it. Oh, I'm going to have you. There's an SD card in the kit. I'm going to have you flash a new operating system onto it because we just released for experimental what we call the Positron, which is we updated all the configs, all the operating system stuff, and we fixed a ton of stuff. And by we, I do mean Joe and Smitsky from the Positron team. They've slaved over this and they've worked really hard, and it is a phenomenal version of Clipper for Positron. It's still stock Clipper, nothing custom, but they really cleaned it up, and it's nice. So thank you to Joe and Smitsky for taking the charge on that. I appreciate it so much.
That's awesome.
So yeah, I will send you the instructions on how to reflash that, and that will be your homework.
Okay, we'll reflash some SD. I might do some heat sets, and then so just to talk ahead for anybody that wants to tune in next time, we're gonna do x-axis and the whole bit, everything else basically.
Yep.
Belt tensioning.
And I will be able to teach you all of my little tricks to the belt tensioning, because for the Z, there's a small trick that I use very often that gets me like perfect belt tensioning every time. And XY, there's also a little trick as well.
Nice. Well, I look forward to that.
Hell yeah. All right.
Okay, man.
Move over.
Looking forward to
intermission here. Oh yeah, I forgot I'm still tiny. Thank you all so much for tuning in. My favorite part about this step is this is where it really starts looking like a positron, and you really just start to really see how all this comes together. And what's crazy is, I mean, you experienced it a little bit. Once it's fully together, if you have to get to like a certain component, most of the components of this printer can be accessed with just a few screws. Like the majority of the main board is accessed with just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screws being removed. Same thing for your power board, your Z motor, a lot of stuff. So people have said that this is a very easy to maintain printer. So very excited for next week.
I was just appreciating the fold fold mechanism now that that's kind of come together.
Once you actually put the belt
really
on,
clever.
You're gonna love it even more because
well, and that's another reason for a belted Z right there. That allows for that type of folding. That's such a neat little
once
detail.
It's on that spring, it like clicks into place and then clicks out. It's so satisfying. Moto Rev.
What I can't wait to see is how the bed fits with all that too. So that's cool. Anyway,
Moto Rev.
Does the bed come off when it folds?
Yeah.
Or does the bed fold as well?
No, you take it off.
You take it off and then lay it. Still very, very neat. Very neat design.
Thank you. Moto Ref. The instructions on the reflash are in the Discord. It's still experimental, so it's not released yet. But we're pretty happy with the results we've gotten so far. So it is likely going to be what we include stock on SD cards moving forward in the future. But until we let it pass experimentation, it's just going to be in the Discord for now. All right. Well, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Pooch, thank you so much for lending me 3 hours of your day.
Oh, man. Thank you for being here with me and being my emotional support donkey.
Of course.
Or whatever animal you want to be.
Well, at least in the morning, I'm making waffles. So you know what?
You're not a donkey. It's an excellent reference. Good. Way to pick up the Shrek reference.
All right. Thank you, everyone, so much for tuning in. Make sure to check out KB3D for your 3D printer needs. Thank you to LDO Motors for the Positrons, as always. And yeah, I hope you all have a wonderful night. Make sure to hug yourself more. Make sure to hug your loved ones. And I feel like at this point I should just steal Joel's thing. Fight for a cause you believe in. No, you know what? Volunteer for a cause you believe in. Volunteer for a cause. I'll be slightly different. All
Be
right.
the change you want to see in the world.
Have a good night, everybody.